Boulevard home game of the week on the Fans Sports Network.
Punishing runner.
Into the end zone, touchdown.
Big hole up the middle. 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
For a touchdown.
Meeting number 3 in a 12-month span. It's a 4A class clash. Live from Dixie High School, it's the Dixie Flyers taking on the Park City Miners right here on the Fan Sports Network, presented by Boulevard Home. Hi everyone, Blake O'Ruling alongside Caden Fortmaster for this one as our City of St. George kickoff closes in at the top of the hour. Caden, Park City besting the Flyers last year in this Week 3 matchup, 21-24, was a competitive one.
It was competitive, but here's the thing. Different team, different players. That's the lovely thing about high school sports, college sports, whatever it may be. Your team has to reload year after year after year, right? So are we going to see familiar faces from the previous matchup? Absolutely. Are we going to see the exact same faces, the exact same play calls, everything? No, we're not. This is a brand new ball game here tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Lots of new seniors on this squad, specifically on the Park City side. 25 seniors, 25 juniors, accounting for 50 of the 80 men on this roster. As for Dixie football, 21 seniors. One of the big ones, Rand Sawyer, not going to be playing tonight. Yeah,
Rand Sawyer, it was said that he was going to be kind of a game-time decision, but they also ultimately decided, listen, if this was a playoff game, would he play? Yeah, of course he's going to go out there and play. He's a tough kid. He wants to be on the field. But it's still preseason. We're not into Region 9 play just yet. Final week of the preseason here. It's better to just say safe than sorry, right? Keep him safe. Keep him out of harm's way for one more game. Let him heal for one more week. We'll get into it next week. We'll let him have that time on the field later.
Not to mention playing Hurricane next week. 4-2 in region last year, looking to hope to have the same similar type of success. Talking a little bit about this one between the Miners and the Flyers, an 11-point spread suggested by Perry's Power Guide this week in favor of the Miners. Makes sense given the 2-0 record over some qualified squads through Week 1 and Week 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, the Miners here being favored to me is not too surprising, especially if you look at the first 2 games from each of these teams to start the season. Dixie fell in both of theirs, and they have a lot of room still to try to work on things and get into being a winning team this year. Is this the game to do that? Not necessarily, and that's okay. I feel like right now for Dixie, they're still trying to figure out what their identity is. It's going to be tough without your key component in Rand Sawyer there, but here's the thing. You have enough games for your opponent under their belt as well that you can scheme, you can game plan to them a little bit better, as opposed to maybe those games earlier this season where they had one game or no games to be able to look at film and prepare against.
Certainly a little bit more film. We'll talk a little bit about that later on in our keys to the game. Talking a little bit about Park City, a 17-0 victory over crosstown rival Wasatch Week 1. As for Week 2, a victory 48-34 over Timpanogos. Won both matchups this last year as well versus the Flyers again. That Week 3 matchup as well as the second round of the playoffs. So this Flyers team has met a lot of times with the Park City Miners as well. So very interested to see how things are queued up. Coach Monkers as well as Coach Montzingo have seen each other quite a few times over the course of the last 12 months, Gabe.
They have, and, both of these coaches are great coaches in their own right. Blaine Monkers here in Southern Utah specifically is kind of a living legend right now, and we talk about coaching trees a lot in high school football and college football, in the NFL, at all levels. And here in Southern Utah, the Monkers coaching tree is blooming. It is so expansive, and he really is at the trunk of that tree right there with guys like, even for example, Rick Berry, who went off to Desert Hills and wins the state championship there, goes and coaches college football for a year, but is now back as a coordinator. So, you have a great coaching staff here with the Flyers, just to name one, but, it's not like it's any different on the Park City side either. Great coaching staff over there.
Yeah, speaking of Park City, Coach Josh Montzingo, his 9th season at the helm for the Miners, made it to the 4A semifinals opposite Green Canyon last year, and then back in 2019 they went all the way to the state championship. They did lose in that game, but 11-2 last season with Bash Bodley under center. He returns this year and so far having a great season. We'll talk a little bit more about that in about 5 minutes or so, but just to mention as well, to kind of piggyback off of what you said, Caden, Rick Berry, I remember back at Week 1 when our good man Devin Dixon had the chance to talk to Coach Blaine Monkers and said that having Coach Berry is like having a second head coach on the sideline for them. So certainly been a reliable resource for Coach Monkers, who's in his 14th total season as the Flyers. I also didn't realize this. Most seasons at the helm of a football team in Utah history with 34 for Blaine Monkers.
Wow, yeah, that's impressive in itself. And, talking to him, it's so interesting. You talk to him one-on-one, such a good, personable dude. I've gone golfing with the guy. I mean, he's absolutely a blast to just sit down and talk to. And when you talk to him, he's quiet, he's humble, and just a good all-around person. And I see the football teams he puts together that are so just mean and gritty and tough. And I'm like, that's not the same guy, right? We're not talking about the same guy, because knowing Coach Blaine Monkers on a personal level, he's always just such a genuinely nice person, at least towards myself. I'll speak on my own account here, but looking at the teams that he's put together in the history of the Flyers over the last 34 years, some championship teams, and these guys are dogs, man. They're tough.
Would you say that Coach Blaine Monkers, I mean, the fact that you've played golf with him before in the past.
Yeah.
Would you say he maybe knows just how to turn it on at the right times?
It is, yeah, and that's how it is with any really good football coach. I mean, and that goes for being in the region as long as I have. I know a lot of these coaches a little more personally. Even Coach Alofopo, I see him out and about at different events. He's always, even at baseball games, he comes and supports the football players that are on the baseball team. And hey coach, how's it going? Hey man, how are you? Doing so good. I've stood on the sideline in playoff runs as Crimson Cliffs is fighting through some playoffs, and Coach Alofopo's fired up, right? Like, so that's just how these coaches are, They know how to get the best out of their players because they are genuinely good people, and you want to fight for them. So when the intensity comes out in a Blaine Monkers, you're like, all right, Coach, I got you. Like, we're good. Let's go. Let's go play some football.
Lots of class in the coaching helm here in Region 9. Park City has started the last 2 seasons, Caden, 3-0. Dixie started last season 0-3 going into region play, but certainly rendered a solid record in region, going 4-2 overall. But when we talk about coming into this game, Park City, again, started off undefeated. On the other side, when we talk about someone like the Flyers, they're used to kind of having their back against the wall going into region play.
Sure. For the Flyers, they always schedule a tough preseason. We see it that they always have Springville on the schedule, which is not an easy game ever, and they always throw them into it. And it's been tough. They haven't won that game in a while. So, Dixie knows what it's like to go in to preseason and play a tough preseason schedule, but then just like last year, they played a tough preseason schedule. They go 4-2 in region. They have a winning record in region. Just a few seasons ago, they made it all the way to the state championship game after having a really bad preseason, and they're going up and they take second at state. So you never know with Dixie. Just because they have a bad preseason doesn't mean anything.
A 41-12 loss to Springville week 1, and then shut out 58-0 versus a juggernaut in Mountain Ridge last Friday, the number 6 team in the state. Not much to hang your head down low for that one. Certainly getting shut out is something not that you want to do every single week by any means. But when you're facing a team like Mountain Ridge, who is one of the top programs in the entire state, it's almost a foregone conclusion before you even walk through the doors.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like anyone going into this game that didn't have preconceived notions figured it out pretty quickly that Mountain Ridge was the team to beat for sure. They took it to Dixie. Let's call it what it is, right? And they're a good team. But listen, playing good teams prepares you for when you're playing teams that are around your level. I feel like Region 9, there's some parity here. And I know they haven't played each other yet, but Dixie playing this tough schedule is going to give them the ability to go into this Region 9 schedule coming up next week and be fully prepared for whatever faces them. Playing tough competition makes you better. It's like when a little kid has older brothers, right? I know this from experience. I had older brothers. You have to step up your game, okay? You got to step up your game when you're playing against tougher competition. That's what Dixie's doing. Are they winning these games? No. But you know what? They're stepping up early. They know what it's like to step up to your competition. So hopefully, on the backside of that, when they are big brother, they're ready, they're prepared, they're going hard.
Just about 10 minutes away from kickoff. We're going to take a short break and then be back with our Everbowls keys to the game. Again, Blake O'Reilly and Caden Formaster with you all night. Back on the other side on the Fan Sports Network.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the Cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Welcome to the Back Nine. We bring the world's best courses to you. Elevate your game at any time with 24/7 access to top-tier golf technology and expert PGA instructors available. Back Nine Golf is a place to improve your swing for all ages. Join us today.
Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Kanab is open daily for free family fun. Take a tour, volunteer, hike a trail, or bring home a new best friend. Visit Best Friends today for magical memories that'll last forever.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
You could wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that could make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks A stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
Hey, it's Marco from Coral Canyon Golf Course, inviting you to play the course with the best backdrop in Southern Utah. Make sure you get out and experience great golf for a great price at Coral Canyon. Visit coralcanyongolfcourse.com or call us at 435-688-1700 for your tee times.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
Huge news! Sport Court has a brand new showroom and design center, and it's next level. See why so many are choosing Sport Court here in Southern Utah for top quality basketball, pickleball, and multi-purpose courts. Learn more at sportcourtofsouthernutah.com.
Remember when Down East was all scratch and dent furniture? Your go-to for dorm rooms, kids' rooms, and first homes? Well, the times have changed, and Down East has changed with you. Down East is proud to offer our beautiful collection of high-quality furniture designed to elevate your space and make a statement. From stylish sofas and dining tables to cozy bedroom collections. If you're starting fresh or looking to upgrade, Down East has everything you need to create the home you'll love.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
Red Rock Real Estate has over 200 professional realtors in the St. George area that specialize in the local market. Whether you're buying your dream home, looking for an investment property, or want to sell your home for the highest amount, the Red Rock Real Estate team is here to assist you. Get started now by visiting redrockrealestate.com.
Hey St. George, this is Brian. I'm the new owner of your local Everbowl. Looking for a delicious, nutritious meal? Come to Everbowl. Our acai bowls are packed with superfoods to fuel your day. And it's where Region 9 sports fans fuel up.
Scooter's Coffee and Hurricane is the best way to start your day or get you through your day. From breakfast sandwiches to cinnamon rolls to amazing smoothies and, of course, coffee. Anytime is a good time to sip and smile Scooter's Coffee. Open 7 days a week.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
Today's game is brought to you by Boulevard Home, Wilkinson's House of Lighting, Coral Canyon Golf Course, and City of St. George Recreation.
Welcome back in to Dixie High School. Blake O'Rourke and Caden Formaster for your Boulevard Home game of the week. Caden, let's find out our Everbowl keys to the game. Everbowl, where St. George gets its superfood fix. And Caden will start things off with the fan favorite Flyers here tonight.
Yeah, so for Dixie over here tonight, for sure, part of it is finding your offensive power. Where does that power come from? Especially with Rand Sawyer out, the offense needs to move the ball. Hasn't been their hot point for the last few games. So that is a big key tonight. Where is the offense going to come? Wyatt Truman at the helm there for the Flyers really needs to make sure he's got his craft rolling here tonight.
Yeah, certainly the Flyers with -2 total yards last week. Certainly going to need to pick that up in order to get the win here tonight. Also, talking a little bit about the defensive side of things, blitzing Bash Bodily is going to be a key component as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this is somebody who is really good at running the ball. This whole team is really good at running the ball. If you can put some pressure back there on him before he makes those decisions, especially if you're looking at an RPO, he doesn't pass the ball much, but if he is going to, make sure to get that pressure on him.
Containing Cunningham is going to be huge as well. Ethan Cunningham, the sophomore running back, 12 carries last week for an average of 10 yards per carry. No touchdowns this year, but certainly in the rotation for the Miners.
Yeah, for sure. And Dixie here just needs to learn how to stack the box. I know that they don't have a lot of size right now on that defensive side. But, again, maybe it's just not necessarily size. Maybe it's just the amount, right? They love to run. Maybe you just need to get a few more guys in there on the blitz.
Speaking a little bit about Park City, making sure to stay in the A game with the run. That is where they've been most dominant.
Yeah, running for Park City again. That's exactly the key there. They're good at running, so you know what? You go with what you're good with. I know that we're saying for Dixie, stop the run. But if it's working for Park City, then keep running the ball, right? You establish that run game, and maybe it can open up the passing game later. So for Park City, run that ball.
Speaking of Park City, again, on the other side of things, when we talk about the defense, they went from shutting out Wasatch to allowing 33 points in Week 2 versus Timpanogos. They're going to need to bring the defensive side of things a little bit more dialed back in order to get a win over the Flyers tonight.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the defense, you can't ever allow any sort of a game where you are letting the offense move the ball as much as they did in Game 2. So in this scenario, they for sure want to try to, as you mentioned, dial it back in, tune it up just a little bit, and they know they can do it. They did it previously, so why not just do it again here tonight?
Staying on track with the defense, this Park City team also going to be itching for interceptions. Park City picked off three-year quarterback Matt Kelson twice in Week 1. Wyatt Truman did the same in Week 1. Going to look for guys like Pierce Gardner and Ben Souza to be ball hawks for the Miners on the defensive end of things. Caden, your thoughts on the amount of ball hawks and the amount of talented pass readers there are on this Park City squad?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. You know, that when it comes down to the defense, everybody wants an interception. It's probably one of the best plays you can make as a defender is go out there and get the ball back into the hands of your offense. But listen, this is a team that I think realizes that the passing game for Dixie hasn't been established well enough yet. So if they can expose a little bit, interceptions might be coming their way.
All right, that'll close things out for the Boulevard pregame show. Kickoff is just around the corner. Stay with us right here on the Fan Sports Network.
House of Jump is Southern Utah's only indoor trampoline park and your only place to jump, dunk, and dodge. Head on over to our house, the House of Jump.
Aloha, sports fans. It's Boo Boo and Nick from Honolulu Grill. Come get a taste of the islands. Try our famous Kahlua pork or tender teriyaki chicken, and you'll love our mac salad and sweet sauce on your rice. Don't forget to try our original Kava 8 at Honolulu Grill. It's game time.
Oh, hello, Italian nightclub from Jimmy John's. Ciao, freshly baked bread piled with Italian-style meats. Hey, hand-sliced veggies. Am I obsessed with this sandwich? Yeah. So what if I am? Jimmy John's. Order online or on the app.
At Intermountain Sports Performance, we've been training athletes for over 20 years, and we guarantee your athlete will improve speed, agility, explosive power, and reduce the risk of injury while working with the most qualified and experienced team in Southern Utah. Find us on Instagram.
Today's game is brought to you by Appliance Wholesalers Plus, Bucks Ace Hardware, Dealer Collision, and Findlay Subaru.
Back at Dixie High School, Blake O'Rulian, Caden Formaster just about ready to get things going. Caden, Dixie winning the toss, and with that, Park City will kick off and defer to the second half. Dixie want to start things off fast.
Yeah, Dixie here needs to get things moving quickly for sure, and they got to do it right here on the kickoff, granted that it doesn't go for a touchback here.
Tanner Pidwell, the kicker for Park City, had a successful season thus far. We'll get a little bit more into that as the PATs come around, but he'll boot that one to the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and the Dixie's Flyers will start at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, we get to see this Flyer offense, and again, a little battered and bruised in the offensive side of the ball here. A few players that might not be out there that you're familiar with seeing. But that doesn't mean we're not going to see some good faces. One of the ones that I'm really looking forward to seeing is sophomore Dante Ochoa, who's been putting in some good minutes for the Flyers here, number 10.
Had a touchdown in week 1, also a couple of receptions already this
season. I said
season.
number 10, I meant number 8.
I was just about to say, I was memorizing the number earlier. Ochoa, number 8. It kind of all works together.
I looked at his grade there, because, again, sophomore, number 10.
Only a sophomore.
There you go.
That being said, Wyatt Truman in the backfield. Already getting a call from the official. Unsure of what that is, but we see Tano Anzalone coming off the field.
So, yeah, it's Tano Anzalone out there getting – they're asking him to tuck in a jersey or – oh, he's got an undershirt, a white undershirt. They're asking Anzalone to tuck in the jersey there.
Dane Dobler, the sophomore running back, comes in to replace him. Handed off over to the near side, met by an ocean of white jerseys, and it'll be 2nd and long for the Flyers.
Yeah, just a yard gain on that play, and the Miners reading it well. They brought everybody over to the near side and tried to follow those blockers as much as you could, but just not a lot of room to run there. And here we go again on 2nd down.
Carter Jernigan got out quickly, just unable to pick up the yards, but got to the edge pretty rapidly. That being said, it'll be 2nd and 9 for Dixie. Back to the handoff.
Jernigan the ball.
It'll be Jernigan able to pick up a few more there. It'll be 3rd and about medium.
Yeah, again, establishing that run game here for Dixie. They're not loving going through the air this year, so they're trying to establish this run early, but right here only 3 total yards on this drive.
Jernigan hasn't gotten a lot of repetitions up to this point. Again, Rand Sawyer out. He gets the starting spot tonight. Truman will sling that one through the air. It's dropped by Crew Barize. And with that, the Flyers will bring out the special teams unit, and Park City will start things on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, it was a good look. He was open, went up high for it, tried to bring it down in, but again, just bobbling it there. The defense was able to get to him before he was able to control the ball there, as we can see it here on the Holbrook asphalt replay. As, again, just trying to pull that in. Just missing the replay there, but wasn't enough on it.
Quick boot up for the Flyers. Eli Warner, the man to receive, met by a couple of defenders. Not a whole lot picked up, and the Miners will start right around their own 40-yard line.
Listen, I love this. Carter Jernigan, who has been back there running the ball, goes here on special teams, nearly has a chance to take him out there right at the 40, misses, regroups himself, and comes back and actually still gets the tackle back at the 40. Doesn't allow anything, could have had a big hit, but now we see Park City taking over at their own 40.
Back at the helm for the Miners is Bash Bodley, the senior quarterback for the Park City Miners. And it'll be a quick handoff over to Eli Warner. You'll hear a lot of his name as he gets a little bit of steam, able to move the chains on the first play of the game for the Miners.
Yeah, and moves them far here, as it was a good 14-yard, give them instead 13-yard run all the way out to the far side. It's Fabulous Freddy's first down.
Eli Warner, the number two in the state of Utah, I should say, in touchdowns, 4 rushing, 1 receiving up to this point. 92 rushing yards per game. This time it'll be Ethan Cunningham, as he'll pick up a chunk of yards as well for the Miners.
Yeah, Cunningham just taking it right up the gut there, only getting 3, but forward progression on a first down. It's not a bad thing to have you sitting there at 2nd and 7.
Ethan Cunningham, Bash Bodley, Eli Warner account for 98% of Park City's offense. Very interested to see if they can incorporate some other weaponry into this Miners offense, but for right now seems to be going according to plan. 2nd and 7 as it's pitched over once again to Warner. Warner catches the edge and once again will move the chains for the Miners, getting closer inside Red Rock Real Estate's red zone.
Yeah, again, just another big chunk yardage here, 15-yard run, and spotting it there at the 32-yard line And, again, just here for the Flyers, they need to contain that run, especially as they're sweeping it out to that far side.
Fresh set of downs for the Miners, and really what I've seen, Caden, is that a lot of Park City's opposition has not been able to stop exactly what we're seeing now is Cunningham, once again, same exact play, burrows his way right inside the 5, unable to get to the end zone, but flirting with that finish line is Park City.
Yeah, what a big play there as he takes it all the way in. First and goal situation now for Park City. They're just moving the ball early. No passing plays yet. They just keep running.
Ethan Cunningham, 200 pounds, coming straight at you. No touchdowns again so far this season, but does lead the team in rushing yards per game at 102. Bodily in the shotgun. A little bit of a high snap. Lost its owner. Still on the ground, and it looks as if Dixie was able to recover it. And with that, Jason Malaufu able to pick up that hot ball. It'll be Dixie moving the other way. Caden, take it away.
Yeah, here on the instant replay, you can see him just can't get it. Ball was rolling. They finally pull it in. A big turnover right there for the Flyers.
So back on offense we go. Wyatt Truman. Only one pass. It was an incomplete on that first drive. Saw a lot of Jernigan. It'll be 1st and 10. Met in the backfield by Park City. Noah Joyner already has 1 sack this season and able to meet Jernigan in the backfield. 240 pounds for the defensive end junior.
Yeah. This is, again, just the scenario that Park City was planning for, which was Dixie trying to run. And they see that on a 1st and 10 play, Dixie likes to run, so they sent some pressure inside, stopped him in the backfield. 2nd down and a lot to go.
Back to pass. Truman unable to get that pass off. Targeted Tano Anzalone, who's had a lot of success so far this season. Outside of Dante Ochoa, maybe the most popular receiver for Truman to target, but unable to reel that one in. It'll be 3rd and 14 for the Flyers.
Yeah, and just thrown behind him a little bit there. Had he let him off just a little further, could be a little bit different, but the defense was stacked up there anyway, so it only been a gain for maybe 3 or 4 as they go for pass here.
Truman steps up. Pressure is coming. Able to scoop it up is Dane Dobler, but met once again by a stout defense on the other side in Park City, and the special teams unit will come out once again.
Yeah, it brings up 4th and 15 here. Dobler had nowhere to go with it as the defense is just swarming right now for the Miners.
No gain on the play.
Couple of 3 and outs, also a fumble on the side of Bash Bodily. He has 1 fumble up to this point this season. That was number 2. With that being said, a couple of Park City Miners waiting on the other side. Pierce Gardner, as well as Eli Warner, await the punt from Dixie. Plenty of room to go. Still going inside the 10, a beautiful pickup by Park City. I apologize, that was Nicholas Morgan, the punt returner for that one, able to pick up a huge amount of yards, Caden.
Yeah, they're going to be starting things off here inside that Red Rock Real Estate red zone, spotting them at the 16-yard line. So for Dixie, I mean, your back's against the wall here. You were able to get out of it last time, checking it out on the Holbrook Asphalt replay, that return for Park City. This is a moment for Dixie, for the defense to prove that they can continue to fight here and hopefully try to hold off Park City. But Park City, expect them to, again, continue on with that run. They have yet to pass the ball.
Ball on the 16, 1st and 10. Bodily backed with an I formation. Both star running backs there. A little jump at the line. Dixie calling guilt on Park City. We'll see what the call is.
Red ball. Encroachment. Defense number 35. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
So an offsides by Tyler Riding on the side of Dixie is going to move Park City closer towards that end zone. Back in the I formation, again, Cunningham and Warner in the backfield. Warner goes into motion. Handed off to Cunningham. able to bully his way up a couple of yards and just chipping away at this inside the 10 now, Caden.
Yeah, Cunningham, this is exactly what he's known for, right, is just putting feet to ground, pushing forward, and in this case, picks up 4.
Second down, 1.
Park City again, a 17-0 victory over Wasatch week 1. For week 2, posted up 48 points. 3 of those by number 5, Eli Warner. The fake over to the corner. With that, touchdown Park City. Eli Warner, notch another one for him as Park City finds the end zone first.
Yeah, Park City getting it in and getting 6 points up on the board. And we can check it out here on the Holbrook Asphalt replay. Again, just an easy run play here that Park City has already well established, taking it to the outside. They love to work those sides. Pushing up the middle, again, they're having a little less success. They're saying, let's just take it to the side. We're doing well this way.
Tanner Pidwell in for the PAT. 11 for 11 up to this point this season. Looking to make it 12 for 12, 6:29 remaining in the first quarter. Kick looks to be good, and with that, Park City goes up 7-0. Quick 60-second break, and we will be back with more Region 9 action on the other side of this one. You're watching the Fan Sports Network on the Fan Sports Network presented by Boulevard Home.
Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
From bold statements to subtle compliments, Wilkinson's House of Lighting will help you more fully enjoy all the different spaces in your home. Stop in and see what's new at Wilkinson's House of Lighting, a proud sponsor of Region 10 Athletics.
Hey, it's Luke with Udine Associates at American Family Insurance. At Udine Associates, we love insurance so you don't have to. With a quick call, we can get you an instant quote with the right coverages. My team of licensed agents are ready to help you with better insurance from American Family. Give us a call at 435-251-9102.
Today's game is brought to you by Down East, House of Jump, Udine Associates, and Best Friends Animal Sanctuary.
Welcome back inside. Quick touchback by Pidwell. We'll put the Flyers on the 20-yard line. So far, a pair of 3-and-outs for the Flyers. Haven't found a lot of success. And again, like we talked about in the pregame show, Caden, just not a lot of positive yardage, looking to find the person that can get them upfield.
Yeah, the passing game has been fairly unsuccessful so far. A lot of incomplete passes here. The run game, not able to get the ball upfield. Let's see what they do here on a fresh set of downs starting off at the 20.
First and 10, ball on the 20. Truman takes the ball himself and gets met by a couple of Park City Miners once again. Not a lot through the air, 0 for 2 so far for Truman, but also just unable to find a lot of offense when they go to the ground either. Through the air, on the ground, Park City seems to be dialed in right now.
They do, and they read that RPO, that option play right there pretty well as they go for a run here.
Jernigan once again loses his footing, picks up a couple, but it'll be 3rd and about 7 or 8. For the Flyers, and Jernigan looks to be a little shaken up as well. Dane Dobler steps in for him.
Limping off the edge here. Potentially just a stinger, but you don't ever want to see any sort of a rolled ankle. Anytime they're limping, it's not fun.
Yeah, the tackle was made somewhere around the feet. We saw him lose his footing, and with that, again, Dane Dobler now into motion. He wheels up. Searching for a man, a little bit too high, targeted for Tano Anzalone, but once again, it'll be 3-and-out for Dixie.
Yeah, and again, it was just, when you're looking at the coverage there, coverage was open there in the middle, but it collapsed in really fast. You just got to settle that ball down in, let him catch the ball. He's going to get hit immediately, And you have to understand as a receiver, they can be scary things sometimes, but from the quarterback position, just settle that down, and you don't want him to get hit up in the air. You'd rather have him take that hit with his feet established so he doesn't go down and get any injuries as we go down to a 4th and 8.
Back to punt, nearly blocked, able to get recovered. It's Pierce Gardner. He goes over to the far side, finds his way out of bounds, met by a couple of Dixie Flyers, and a flag is also on the field. Likely against the Dixie Flyers.
Yeah, let's see what this flag ends up being here.
It looked like it might have been a late hit. We were on the far side.
Yeah, there's a lot of action going on over there, kind of blocking our view from it. But here's the Whitecap now heading
Personal
midfield.
foul, late hit, 46 of the kicking team. Penalty be added on to the end of the run. First down.
So it goes against number 46, who I do not have on my roster, by the way. Let's see if we have another roster. Or is it 36?
Crew Barize, number 46. As for 36, there is no 36 on Dixie.
Okay, we'll say it was 46.
Said.
Well, that brings it all the way up now, getting things rolling here at the 25-yard line on 1st and 10.
Back to pass is Bodley. He'll shoot one right outside to Cusimano, unable to reel it in, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
First time we've seen a pass attempt here from Bodley, which he hit him in the numbers, I'll give him that, but just was not able to bring it in on the run.
Yeah, speaking a little bit about the differential between passing and running for this Park City team. Last week versus Timpanogos, 506 total yards, 356 of them on the ground. So as you've already seen through the first 7 minutes of football, Park City certainly likes to keep it on the ground with their talented running back core. Jump at the line. It looks like it might be another one on Dixie.
Dead ball. Encroachment. 46. Defense. 5-yard penalty remains second.
Once again, the sophomore outside linebacker, Crew Barize, jumping over the line. Just wants to get to Bash Bodley. Talked about it a little bit earlier. Putting pressure on him might be one of the only ways to stop this Park City offense as Warner takes it. Far side. Able to find a gap just outside. Going to be placed likely right at the 1-yard line. Just can't seem to stop Eli Warner and Ethan Cunningham so far, Caden.
Yeah, going for a 19-yard run here. We see it on the Holbrook Asphalt replay as they get it down right in front of the goal line. And again, the run game is just so strong for this Miners football team.
4:40 to go. Miners up 7-0. Once again, ball on the 1-yard line, looking to punch it in and really separate themselves from the Flyers here early. Cunningham in the backfield. Bodley will take it himself, unable to find his way to the end zone. Bash Bodley with 1 rushing touchdown this year, also 2 passing touchdowns, but unable to find the end zone there.
Yeah, I was not able to get there. And this is what I was talking about in the pregame show with the keys to the game for Dixie. Just stack up the box. They knew it was going to be some sort of a run and likely up the middle when you're placed right there. They were able to stop it perfectly and makes it now 2nd and goal from the 2.
Quick thank you to our friends over at Jimmy John's. Freaky Fast. Watch and vote for the Jimmy John's Highlight of the Week on the Fan Sports Network. Bash Bodley alone with Cunningham. Cunningham finds a gap. First touchdown of the year for Ethan Cunningham, the talented sophomore, finally finds the finish line.
Yeah, he gets in there for an easy score, pushing up now 13-0, just walks it in against the Flyers as now we await the extra point.
Pidwell back for the PAT, was successful in the first. Miners up 13-0. And with that, it'll be Miners up 14-0, widening the gap inch by inch. With that, we're going to step aside for just a moment and be back with Flyers receiving the ball. You're watching Region 9 football right here on the Fan Sports Network. Back in a minute.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Oh, cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Own property and want to rent it? Then you need the right team with 11 years of local experience, a staff of over 25 employees, and a 4.9 Google rating. Aim to maximize your rental income and find quality tenants while keeping turnover low to increase your revenue and truly maintain your property. Learn more at redrockpropertymanagement.com.
Back at Dixie High School, Tanner Pidwell looking to kick this one off. And we saw Jernigan, the senior, limp off the field. We see him now in the backfield. Seems to have gotten his wits back about him. Luckily, no serious injury there for the senior running back.
Yeah, it's always nice to see someone heading back out on the field after taking a little bit of a hit. And right now running back off the field with at least power underneath him. We like to see that. No more limping off the field here for the Flyers. And Jernigan's a key piece so far. I mean, he's been the go-to guy for a lot of the offensive schemes placed by Dixie.
No rushes up to this point on the season either. Gets the starting spot, and so far finding a little bit of success as Truman looks towards the far side, batted down.
I think that was Anzalone that was on the attempted receiving end.
Anzalone was the target. Wyatt Knapp able to bat it down, the junior outside linebacker for Park City.
Pass is incomplete. Second down, 10.
So 2nd and 10, 3:35 on the clock. Fourth possession for the Flyers. Anzalone will come in motion. Truman will keep it himself, a little bit of a gap, and with that, able to pick up a chunk of yards. It'll be about 2nd and medium for Dixie. One of the most positive plays we've seen so far, Caden.
Yeah, for sure. We love to see any sort of a good gain, good chunk of yards here. And then this time, again, 5 yards. Best that we've seen so far. The most we've seen up until this point is maybe 2 yards total. So this is the biggest chunk play we've seen so far from the Flyers.
Truman in the backfield. Takes it once again. Second time not nearly as successful. Park City privy to it.
Truman, the ball carrier.
And we saw this while they were warming up. They practice so much keeping their eye on the ball and just collapsing wherever the ball carrier goes, Caden.
Yeah, this is a defense that's just trained to, I mean, listen, we know how good their run offense is. I'm sure this defense has practiced against their running offense a lot. So expect that this defense knows how to protect the run as much as they know how to give the run.
Another 3 and out for Dixie. We'll find a pair of Park City punt returners on the other side. Found some success so far in the special teams unit is Park City. Lots of hang time for that one. Garner will call for the fair catch, and Park City will start right around their own 35.
Yeah, Park City getting placed there at the, I guess they'll set them right there at the 36. Now, this defense here, again, just be prepared that Park City's going to take the ball. They're going to run with it. They're going to take it realistically the way that they've been doing it, taking it to that far side first. So get ready for that, and this Flyer defense just has to know that the run is coming.
I don't think there has been a completed pass so far in this game, Caden.
There has not.
It's been primarily.
There's not been a single completed pass. There have been 4 attempts, no completions.
Bodily back to throw. He'll lace it. Wide open man. Just steps out of bounds, but it looks as though it's a completion. A massive pickup for Park City. Brogan Price, the sophomore, able to reel that one in.
And had he not stepped out of bounds, this is a touchdown here for the Miners. Flyers, they were saying what I was saying. They were ready for the run. So you know what happens? Broken coverage, man wide open. And it looked like someone must have lost their assignment here from what I can see on the replay and on the play here. But again, now it just sets up a 1st and 10 here for the Miners in Dixie territory from the 31.
Back over to the toss. Flyers right there to meet Cunningham in the backfield. Nice defensive stand for the Dixie Flyers. It'll move it to 2nd and long. Speaking a little bit about Brogan Price really quick, Caden, I apologize. 8 receptions so far this year, his 9th one. That was a massive, massive pickup. And once again, just inside that 30, 35-yard line is the Park City Miners.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And after a big, 33-yard gain, this is actually kind of a big stop for the Flyers here.
Bodley finds Warner. Lots of open space, cuts inside, putting his move, and again inside the 10, thanks to Eli Warner and the connection from Bash Bodley. Miners firing on all cylinders thus far.
Yeah, they are going for about 26 here or so on the through the air. And now all of a sudden you went from no completions to now the Miners have 60 yards through the air, just like that.
Bash Bodley, 54% completion percentage coming into today, having success thus far through the air. Again, the Brogan Price connection as well as the Eli Warner. I formation right now. It's back to Warner once again with the hot hand inside the end zone. They're going to call it another touchdown. 2 for Warner, 1 for Cunningham thus far.
And do they not? Did they put it just short? No, back judge maybe saying touchdown. They're going to put it at the 1.
Right,
no touchdown.
Right at the 1. I apologize for that, Caden. It seemed clear as day. He went over the top.
I thought it was a touchdown, too. I went up with my hands. I was thinking touchdown. I was just looking at the officials, but no, they say that he had a knee down a little early there.
28 seconds. Clock is ticking. Miners in full control of this one. So much dominance thus far from the running core. Ethan Cunningham, the lone back alongside Bash Bodley on the 1 once again. Cunningham met by a defender, shakes him off, and inside the blue paint once again. Ethan Cunningham having himself a day, 2 touchdowns in the first quarter alone.
Yeah, just like that. And again, it's get it to a first and goal, second and goal, whatever, getting it within the 10 and just powering it through. They're just powering it through this defense. And now at this point, 3 touchdowns scored before the end of the first quarter.
Back to kick is Pidwell. Another one good for the Miners, up 21-0, securing dominance here through the first 12 minutes. And right now the Flyers with a lot of work to do through 3 quarters, Caden.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to do here. And, right now you're looking at the second quarter coming up. Right now it's just stop the bleeding, okay? Try to get them to just try to stop the ball. Try to get them to punt it away. Or even at the very least get them to go for field goals. You got to stop touchdowns. Right now that's what Dixie wants to do. Stop touchdowns. Get your offense on the field. The offense needs to get some first downs. We haven't seen a first down yet from this Dixie offense tonight. So if they can move the ball a little bit more, that's all I want to see. Let them get a couple of first downs, get the offense moving, go into halftime and regroup, but you have to stop the bleeding here in the second coming up in just a little bit.
And when talking about moving the ball on the offensive side for Dixie, it's the field position as well. Park City is starting right on their own 50-yard line borderline every single time. One big pickup, and they're in the red zone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. It doesn't take much right now for Park City to get back into the red zone. They're getting ready for another Tanner Pidwell kickoff here.
Pidwell been a busy man on the field thus far, the kicker as well as the punter for Park City. A line drive finds just outside the end zone, and with that, Park City comes back the other way, met by a handful of Park City Miners. Crew Barize on the return.
Yeah, it leaves them with 3 seconds here left in the first quarter, enough for one quick play before we wrap things up on the first and switch sides. For Dixie here, again, on a first down, all I want is just to see them get some forward progression, get a first down on this drive coming up.
25-yard line, 1st and 10, Flyers.
Seeing Jones Carter in under center. I don't know if you see that as well. Number 6 for the Flyers. No Wyatt Truman right now, Caden.
Yeah, and he's looking to pass as well.
Able to go over to the far side, completes that one to Dante Ochoa. Been a prime target, whoever the quarterback might be slinging, but with that, a completed pass closes out the first quarter.
Yeah, and it's a good play here by Deacon Virgin, who's getting there. I mean, listen, I said I want to see a first down completion. There it is.
So that will close things out for quarter number 1. We'll be right back on the other side. You're watching the Boulevard Home Game of the Week on the Fan Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Jermaine O'Jegber from The Rink, and I'm inviting you to come out and escape The Rink. The Rink is the hot spot in town for big group events and kid birthday parties. We now have a karaoke room and retro skate night every Friday night. Visit skatetherink.com to learn more and let the good times roll at The Rink.
At Great Harvest, we believe in crafting more than just bread. We provide crisp, garden-fresh salads and savory sandwiches. Everything from garden-fresh ingredients to our signature handcrafted bread. Our friendly staff will guide you to find a meal that will leave you craving seconds. At Great Harvest, we truly provide something for everyone. And don't forget our baked goods. Satisfy your sweet tooth and finish your meal with a brownie or cinnamon roll. Come visit us at Great Harvest.
Back inside, Wyatt Truman back on the field and met in the backfield by a scrum of Park City defenders. And I apologize for that. I called out Jones Carter. It was Deacon Virgin, the sophomore quarterback, able to make that connection to Dante Ochoa.
Yeah, when you have 2 number 6s on the roster, it's tough to decide which 6 is which, you know. But again, Deacon Virgin, just the sophomore, he is listed as a QB. 6'3" sophomore. Maybe they're looking at trying out a little bit of the future of Flyer football there with that last play.
Not a lot of success on the side of Truman thus far. Virgin back to pass once again, has some time. Ochoa picks up about 5. Virgin did back up quite a bit thus far. That being said, unable to connect towards the markers, but a solid pickup by the Flyers to move it to 3rd and 4.
Listen, I said that one thing I wanted to see in the pregame was a little bit of production here from Dante Ochoa, and I'm glad that we've seen it through the air. He's been the go-to guy that's been able to bring in a couple of passes now on this drive, and looking at on this 3rd down, maybe something more.
Virgin wheels his way out, targets the far side over the head. It was for Crew Barize. I feel like I've been saying his name a lot, number 9, for Dixie. Just went over the head. A little bit too much sauce on it for the sophomore quarterback, Virgin.
Yeah, he was just going on the run right there, and that's a tough throw to make even with your feet firmly planted, but he was trying to do it on the run. I like the idea. He had his man beat out there on the sideline. It was a good idea for the pass. The zip was there on it as well, some speed. Just floated it a little too high. But listen, I like the thought. And look, they're going for it on 4th down potentially, or you know what, we'll take a timeout instead.
Timeout, Dixie.
Short timeout by Dixie. We'll see what Coach Monkers tallies up for this Flyers squad. We're going to step aside for about 30 seconds and be right back with 4th down. You're watching the Boulevard Game of the Week on the Fan Sports Network.
Aloha, sports fans. It's Boo and Nick from Harlem Grill. Come get a taste of the islands. Try our famous Kahlua pork or tender teriyaki chicken, and you'll love our mac salad and sweet sauce on your rice. Don't forget to try our original Kava 8 at Harlem Grill.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the Cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Today's game is brought to you by Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, Sport Court, Scooters Coffee, and Holbrook Asphalt.
Back live in St. George, Blake O'Rulian as well as Caden Formaster. Looks as though the Flyers are going to punt this one out. But Caden, we just talked about it at the break. It seems like there's some new life in this Flyers offense with Deacon Virgin coming in under center.
Yeah, I like this. And listen, this is a similar situation to what happened with Wyatt Truman last year where they had a different quarterback. And then in the 3rd pregame as this one's kicked away with lots of room, it's rolling for a touchback. But as I was about to mention, though, Wyatt Truman stepped in the quarterback position later on in the season. He was not the starter from game 1. And Virgin stepping into it right here. Listen, this kid looks confident back there. He's making some interesting passes that I wouldn't expect from someone who's just stepping into their first varsity time.
And seems to be very comfortable specifically with Dante Ochoa, like you mentioned. Again, a couple of sophomores here that seem to have probably played together over the years when you think about it, given the grades. And so far, a lot more success as Park City kicks off another drive. Posted 3 touchdowns thanks to Ethan Cunningham as well as Eli Warner. And now, once again, Cunningham in the backfield with Bodley. Bodley scanning, steps inside, able to find the target. Solid pickup by Reese Smith. He leads the team in reception yardage per game, 82 yards received per game for the senior wide receiver Reese Smith.
Now, one thing I find interesting here with Bash Bodley as he makes that pass is, man, he's got a lot of torque in his throw. He's really getting back there and twisting that upper body around quickly. He's not doing it with the arm. He's doing it with the body, which makes sense with his last name being Bodley.
6'5", 215 pounds, certainly has that quarterback frame and orchestrating the offense well through about 14 minutes of football thus far. Pump fake from Bodley, airs it out, going to Warner. Warner able to bat down the ball. It was borderline an interception on the side of Dixie.
Yeah, and that's Seth Morby out there who read it perfectly. Morby got over to it. We got the Holbrook Asphalt replay queued up for you right here. Here's what I love about Morby. He reads it well. Now, had he been able to bring this in, that would have been great. But, again, the receiver just had enough wherewithal and enough conscious effort to realize I'm not catching this, but I better defend it.
High IQ play by the senior out of Park City. Seth Morby, 6 tackles per game, leads the team on the defensive side of things in that category, the free safety. With that, it'll be 2nd and 10. Bodley back to the air. That one wide open, a diving catch, unable to bring it in. Owen Campbell, the target. The senior wide receiver, 1 reception so far this year for 11 yards. That one a little bit deeper.
Here's what I like about this right now for the Miners. They're up 21-0. They're going through the air. This is, in some ways, a form of practice for them. They know their run game is so good. So let's practice the passing game. And they are. They're going more through the air right now on these last few drives. They can afford to do it, which I also like to see them doing it because we're starting to see a little bit more of the depth of what this roster offers.
3rd and 10, gone through the air for the last 3 passes consecutively. Bash Bodley all alone is going to take this one himself. Finds a little bit of room, plenty of space, a field of green ahead of him. Bash Bodley to the 20, to the 10, inside. Touchdown Miners once again. Bash Bodley takes matters into his own hands for the Miners.
Yeah, 64-yard run here that he takes up to the gut and kicks out to the outside. But again, here for Park City, we knew that he's kind of a dual threat quarterback. He really does like to run the ball, and we see it here on the Holbrook Asphalt replays. He takes it all the way down the sideline. He had 1 defender to beat. He got a block from his receiver upfield as well. So this is just a full team effort here on this 64-yard touchdown run.
2nd rushing touchdown this year for the senior quarterback. Averages 60 yards per game on the ground himself. Picked up a chunk of those right here in the 2nd quarter. Pidwell's kick is up and good, and the Miners continue to dominate down in St. George, 28-0 in favor of the visiting team. We will be right back with more Region 9 football. You're watching the Boulevard Home Game of the Week on the Fan Sports Network.
Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Kanab is open daily for free family fun. Take a tour, volunteer, hike a trail, or bring home a new best friend. Visit Best Friends today for magical memories that'll last forever.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
Today's game is brought to you by Boulevard Home, Handel's Ice Cream, Intercap Lending, and Red Rock Real Estate.
Touchdown number 4 for the Miners puts them up 28-0 right now. Full grasp on this game. Blake O'Rulian, Caden Formaster here for your Boulevard Home Game of the Week. Just a little under 97 degrees around kickoff time, 7:40 local time here in St. George. But Caden, the weather doesn't seem to be bothering Park City at all. In fact, I think they're liking the warm weather right now. As right now, Dixie picking up a handful of yards. Flag on the play, but Crew Barize able to bring it back to past the 45. A massive pickup in momentum for the Flyers.
Yeah, and this return right here looks like it could be coming back a little bit. We'll see here again on the replay. And maybe we got a player down there. That's number 48 for the Flyers, who I don't currently have on my roster. But again, with all these flags down, I'm wondering if that will be pushing the ball a little bit further forward into minor territory here. Or maybe they're going to bring it back. Dixie's walking it back.
Return, holding, number 46.
Excuse me, no, it's number 46, who I still don't have on my roster.
There's a couple of 46s, or at least what I have is 46 is Crew Barize, but also number 9 is Crew Barize. So with that being said, there's a little bit of an issue here in terms of the rosters, but things will be updated. Nonetheless, Wyatt Truman back to lead the dance for the Flyers as he motions inside to Dante Ochoa. A little bit of communication between quarterback and wide receiver. 1st and 10, ball on the 43. A tremendous pickup to kick things off here following that Park City touchdown.
And even with the penalty, they're still sitting in way better field position than they've seen all night.
Tano Anzalone picks up a handful of yards. Actually might be brought back. We'll see where the forward progress places that ball.
They're going to give him 2 yards right there, place it at the 45.
But Anzalone, I apologize for that as well. Caden was able to correct me just a few minutes ago on that one as well.
I know a lot of Anzalones in the area, so, shout out to all of our Anzalone friends here from Southern Utah.
Reminds me of Win and New Win. I don't know if you've ever seen that one, N-G-U-Y-E-N. Also one where it's like if you know someone, you know how to pronounce that one.
Well, it's like McLaughlin and McLaughlin, right? Like there's always something.
2nd and 10, ball on the 45. Truman brings Anzalone back in motion. Same play once again. Still looking for blockers. Picks up another pair of yards, but not too much.
A lot of pressure coming up the middle right there from the Miners. And you see it coming up through the gaps right there. They read it perfectly. I swear they were in the backfield before the ball was even snapped. That's how quickly they were getting back there. But here's the good thing for Dixie. They were able to avoid it. Now, the linebackers read it well as well and came over on the slide over to that far side. Still a gain of a couple yards, though, there for the Flyers.
Just getting a score update, 35-0 in favor of the Hurricane Tigers over Hillcrest.
There we go, Tigers.
Just a little bit under the top of the second quarter, 11:52 in that game, but Hurricane firing on all cylinders against Hillcrest right now.
I love when Region 9 does well.
2-12 up to this point. That ball batted down by Pierce Garner. He's had a handful of interceptions already this season, 7 tackles as well. Wanted that one. Saw a little bit of frustration at the close of that play. But talking a little bit about Region 9, Caden, currently 2-12 to start the season. Hasn't been pretty for him.
No, it hasn't been pretty, but you know what? Nights like tonight where Hurricane's already up by, what was it, 35 to nothing against Hillcrest. And the spread on that was 37. I was like, maybe you take the under there. But listen, it's not even halftime out there in Hurricane, and they're already up 35-0. That's impressive for this new team, or I should say new head coach, Coach Cowan out there in Hurricane, to be able to get these Tigers coached up for this.
Mason Randolph back to punt. Boots that one high. Retrieved by Park City as they go back the other way. Laundry on the field. Another big stiff arm. It'll be right around the 46-47 yard line. But again, a flag on the play early upon the return. We will wait to see what the White Hat calls.
During the return, holding, 3, offense, receiving team. Be a 10-yard penalty, first down Park City.
So that's Thomas Davis who received the holding call for Park City. So that'll bring it back. They're going to march it on back there past the 15, all the way down to the 13-yard line is where this Miners team is going to start to take over here on this drive.
Unfortunate way for that because there has been so many strong returns so far, Caden, for this Park City team. Their special teams really dialed in. Pierce Garner, one of the main names, as well as Eli Warner, who's found a lot of success as well. Punt returns, kickoff returns. And with that, Park City will start the ball on the 12-yard line, 1st and 10. Bodley hands it off. able to pick up a few.
Gain of 3.
Eli
Second
Warner,
down,
the
7.
carrier for this one. And it will be second
Stop, number 55,
and 7.
Noah Russell.
You know, on second down here, I kind of mentioned it earlier, though, and we finally seen another Miners drive here. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go through the air more, but with their backs kind of up against the wall a little more so than they would like it, maybe through this set of downs right here, they would try to get further away and just keep to the run game as this one's over the head.
Ball lost once again. Warner picks it up, flirting with the end zone. No safety, but able to tackle him for a loss is Dixie. Couple of those where the hike has just been a little bit too high, Caden, and with that, it will be 3rd and long for Park City.
Yeah, big play there, taking him down in the backfield again just after a high snap, and it was again Mason Schumann on the play there, getting him down. Just a good read there by the defense here of Dixie to realize what was going on with the play and read it well enough to be able to roll out and make that stop.
3rd and 19, 6 minutes on the play clock for this first half. Bodily backed up into their own territory. They'll hand it off. A fake over to Bodily. He's going to pick up a few, but short of the first down marker. And as all likelihood, we will see Park City punt for the first time tonight.
Absolutely. The first 3 and out, too, which is amazing for the Flyer defense. Comes with one big mistake, but outside of that, Park City was using their game plan. One mistake was all it was, and now it's 4th and 6 here. They're bringing out the punter on the field. I like to see it for this Flyer defense, especially punting from the 2-yard line back there is where the punter set up. So it should be Dixie football after this punt. In theory, hopefully, you would expect in Miner territory.
Max Broadbeck back to kick, booted a 60-yarder earlier this year. A flag is on the field. That ball will bounce just over past the 50-yard line. And the Flyers will pick things up right around the 48. Don't know what the flag was for. You saw that as well, Caden, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering if that flag is a holding on the kicking team, but I could be mistaken. It was, and again, the flag was back where the punt happened. So we'll see where the Whitecap says it was and who it was against here. But if I had to guess, I'd say that's where it was. Right now, Dixie and Park City getting ready to stand over the ball, but we got to move it some direction here first. They are talking to Coach Monker, so I'm assuming he's going to ask whether you want to accept or decline. So it will be against Park City.
Illegal formation. Kicking team. A penalty to be put on the end of the kick. First down, Dixie.
Okay, legal formation.
So with that, a little bit more momentum for the Flyers. Caden, I was just thinking about this. Gave up 3 touchdowns in the first quarter was Dixie. Now only giving up 1 touchdown past the halfway point of this quarter and had a couple more completions, rotating in their offense a little bit more. Things seem to be a little bit up. If you're looking for some sort of glass half full moment, it's right now in this second quarter for the Flyers.
It is. You're starting your drive in Miners territory, okay? You're sitting there at the 47-yard line getting ready to go here for the Flyers. This is definitely a momentum shift right now in favor of Dixie.
Truman looking over the middle. Ochoa there once again. And that will move the sticks for the Flyers. First time in quite some time. And Caden, we mentioned this earlier with Rand Sawyer unable to play right now in this preseason. Dante Ochoa seems to be the man to find in the field for Dixie.
Yeah, Ochoa so far has really been the go-to guy. Listed as a tight end, but he plays kind of like that mobile tight end receiver combo, right, that we see a lot more of in today's football, where he is a bigger body, but he gets out there and he plays well.
Truman back to pass, finds Anzalone. Massive hit in the back. Cocked back the body a little bit. But Anzalone able to reel it in for about 3 or 4, it looked like. Hard hit, though, Kate.
Yeah, kind of cracked him there. And it was a big hit, but listen, he popped right back up, still out there on the field. So you like to see that when your receiver goes down with that big of a hit. But he pops up just fine. Anzalone lining back up right there in the slot position on the far side.
Just about 4 minutes to go. 2nd and 6. Ball on the 31. The most offense garnered by Dixie thus far. They'll hand it off for this one. Inside, able to break 1, not able to break 2. But with that, It'll be 3rd and medium.
Ball carrier number 27, Kessel Barons, a 3rd down, 3.
I actually do not have number 27.
That is
on my roster.
Now, again, however to pronounce this, they just pronounce on the PA as Berzay.
Berzay.
Castle Berzay, sophomore, who just barely, again, we don't see a lot of these sophomores, but we're seeing more and more of them today for whatever reason, which is exciting.
Moving them around a little bit. Truman looking for a man, got hit. Pass over to the far side, but not before being met by the defense of Park City, shaking out that right wrist a little bit, Caden.
Yeah, the pressure was coming at him quick. I could see a few bodies coming over there. That was William Southard being one of them. And for Dixie, you're just probably happy that he had forward progression on that football, so it wasn't marked as anything other than at least a forward pass incomplete, right? There was a chance that could have been really bad for the Flyers, but now you got a 4th down opportunity, 4th and short. The offense stays on the field.
Dynamic play called by Blaine Munkers and company. But you got to think, coming into the second half, you want to get some offense going. Wheeling out, able to target. Anzalone is there, all alone. Park City unable to stop the pass at the moment. And again, we're seeing a shakeout on the right side for Wyatt Truman. 1st and 10, ball on the 15 for the Flyers. Just about 3 minutes to go. A lot of time to get this going.
Yeah, it's definitely a good chunk of time here for the Flyers. And now again inside the Red Rock Real Estate red zone. And for Anzalone, again, it was a great route where he goes up the middle. And I feel like the defense thought he was either going to go to the far side, which I believe was, it could have been Bereze, or they were going to maybe even think about coming over to the younger brother at the running back position who had rolled out as well. But
he was
instead
open.
They go middle, and I like that pass. He was open just enough to bring it in with Anzalone.
Couple of Bearzays having a good game thus far. Truman targets him once again, unable to bring that one to body. But Castle Bearazay targeted once again. Again, plenty of time here. 2nd and 10, ball on the 15 for the Dixie Flyers.
Do you know what I love about this Dixie team right now? I'm seeing a lot of sophomores. Do you know what that tells me? Give them 2 years. Give them 2 years. This Flyer team is going to be so much fun to watch. And I know if you're a Flyer fan out there and you see that score of 28-0, listen, there's always a glass half full moment, as you talked about right now. You can look at, hey, their sophomores making a lot of progression. Also the fact that the Flyers are in the red zone for the first time tonight.
15 sophomores on this St. George squad. And with that, like you say, a lot of bright futures, given that a lot of those 15 are getting a lot of reps here early in 2024. Handoff, play, actually faked it. Wyatt Truman able to pick up a handful of yards. It will be 3rd and short for Dixie as the clock continues to run. Just about 2:07 remaining on the clock.
Yeah, good thing he kept it there on the option play. He had that option to hand it off, but the running back got stuffed up immediately, keeping it himself. He saw that there was a hole opening up, pulled it back, sucked it in, and took off with it. Doesn't mind taking a hit here or there. So now he's giving their team a 3rd and short. Good job, Wyatt Truman, on that play.
Strong run by Truman. 2 carries for only 5 yards up to this point this season. Picked up about 5 right there, just about. As they look for another option play, that one finds Truman down a little bit early. And now the question is, with 4th and short, do they go for it and gamble once again? Found success just a few moments ago, or do they confirm some points on the board as they head into the second half?
You know, on 4th down here, you got to go for it. And this is again, a coaching and a practicing moment for the Flyers, where this game might feel like it's kind of out of hand, but at the same time, it's so far out there, you're not going for field goals. You have to get touchdowns here. So on a 4th down at the 6-yard line, you go for it.
Not to mention Park City will receive to start the second half. Another handoff. That one does go to Berazay once again. Park City, sound on defense, clogs up the corner. And with that, it'll be a turnover on downs. No points on the board, seemingly, in this first half for Dixie.
Yeah, and Dixie ran that same play 3 times in a row there. That's that same run option. First time, Second time, it's Wyatt Truman keeping it himself. This time he hands it off, and the Miners read it perfectly. They knew what was coming. They had the hole blocked if Truman wanted to keep it himself, but they brought enough people over to the side that the handoff was also stuffed up. So nothing there. Turnover on downs. 53 seconds left to go here in this first half.
So, yeah, like you said, under a minute to go, 90 yards to work for Park City. They've already scored 4 touchdowns, only 1 in this quarter. Quarter 1, they exploded on the running side of things. We'll see what this Miner squad can do as it's 1st and 10 on the 10. Direct snap into Warner, breaks off a couple of tackles, and it'll be second, and short for Park City.
And again, on the stop, Ethan Ott, another sophomore there on this squad, who was able to bring them down after the 9-yard gain. Keep them from getting that first down. But, again, with the run game going right now, clock's going to continue to tick away here as we inch closer to halftime.
Back directly to Warner. Almost able to hurdle his way over his own teammate. Trying to get over his man, Paul Pratchett, unable to do so. But with that, it'll be a timeout by Park City, brought to you by UD and Associates. For great service and a rate on home, auto, or life insurance, call Luke today at 435-251-9102 for a free quote to see how much you can save. 20 ticks to go, lots of field to work with, Caden, but Park City could punch another one in before halftime.
Yeah, Park City, I would expect them. Here's the thing. I would expect them to try to just run out the clock. But taking the timeout here makes me think maybe they just want to go for it on a pass. If it doesn't work out on that pass, then maybe you just run out the clock real quick. This is a team that doesn't want to slow down. They want to see what's in their arsenal. So they're going to play not just to win. They're going to play to win big. And Dixie's just got to be ready for it here. Ready for anything with only 20 seconds left to go.
Again, they posted 48 points last week. This is a high-scoring, high-octane offense. Bash Bodley back behind center with 20 seconds to go. Bodley brought down. Ball seems to be loose. Again.
On the play, recovered by the Flyers.
Wow.
Number 49, Marley Alva.
That's a big play here for the Flyers. Check it out here on the Holbrook Asphalt replay again. Coming around on the end, grabbing the shoulder pad and able to wrap him up, bring him down. What a play by Marley Alva, if I said that correctly.
And Caden, again, another sophomore for this Flyers team, making plays right now.
These sophomores are insane.
That is fumble number 4 on the season for Park City. Actually, I apologize. Fumble number 5. They've already had 2 in this half. Truman met by a little bit of pressure, able to get it over to Ochoa. Inside. And with that, Dixie will call a timeout.
Yeah, staying in bounds there. Coach Monkers over there was ready to throw up the timeout symbol as soon as possible, and he did. It gives them about 5 seconds here with their second timeout of the half. So, again, they regroup here before heading into the half. I feel like Wyatt Truman took a little too long there. You know, in that scenario, he was looking, pressure came, he got a little scared, looked down, pulled out of the pocket, finally found a guy, which, again, good to be able to get that forward progression. Was not able to get out of bounds, but still for Dixie, it's getting you inching closer and closer. They're looking to score here before the end of the first half.
Well, we talked about it just a couple of minutes ago. Do you secure some points and punch it in with a field goal, or do you go for 6? You got to wonder, with 5 seconds on the clock, just one play remaining likely for the Flyers, what they will do. We're seeing the offense come out on the field. Wyatt Truman, Dante Ochoa, and company had a lot more success in this second quarter as we close things out in the first half. 2nd and 3, ball on the 18. Seems like they're going to need all of those 18 yards in order to make anything out of this first half, Caden.
All right, well, let's see what they do. They send 2 receivers far side, 2 near side, with Wyatt Truman back in the gun.
Truman scans, heaves one over the middle. 2 Park City Miners there, bat it down, and that will close out the first half Ochoa was the target, just not enough on it to get it over to Dante Ochoa.
Yeah, it was a good run play. They had a one-on-one there, but the safety playing kind of a zone defense there was able to come back into the corner, so there was dual coverage on him at the last second. And that's what you see normally from a defense here in this short game situation is those safeties won't necessarily try to man up or blitz or anything like that. They're just hanging back in case something like that was going to happen. They knew it had to go to the end zone. It's exactly what you would have expected from the Miners. Tough play there for the Flyers, not able to score before the end of the first half.
All right, 24 minutes down, 24 to go. The Great Harvest Bread Company halftime show is back in just a few minutes. You're watching the Boulevard Game of the Week on the Fan Sports Network. Back in a minute.
You could wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that can make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks A stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Your child's sports journey starts with the City of St. George Recreation. From their first steps on the court or field to becoming a star player, our youth sports programs are here to develop talents and teamwork skills. So get out and play. Check out all the sports and get signed up at sgcityrec.org.
Hey, it's Marco from Coral Canyon Golf Course, inviting you to play the course with the best backdrop in Southern Utah. Make sure you get out and experience great golf for a great price at Coral Canyon. Visit coralcanyongolfcourse.com or call us at 435-688-1700 for your tee times.
Fabulous Freddy's is the locals' choice for a full-service car wash. It's fast. Have your car washed in just 20 minutes or less. Fabulous Freddy's always keeps it clean inside and out with 2 Southern Utah locations as well as in Vegas, Lehigh, and Sandy.
Huge news! Sport Court has a brand new showroom and design center, and it's next level. See why so many are choosing Sport Court here in Southern Utah for top quality basketball, pickleball, and multi-purpose courts. Learn more at sportcourtofsouthernutah.com.
Remember when Down East was all scratch and dent furniture? Your go-to for dorm rooms, kids' rooms, and first homes? Well, the times have changed, and Down East has changed with you. Down East is proud to offer our beautiful collection of high-quality furniture designed to elevate your space and make a statement. From stylish sofas and dining tables to cozy bedroom collections. If you're starting fresh or looking to upgrade, Down East has everything you need to create the home you'll love.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
Hey St. George, this is Brian. I'm the new owner of your local Everbowl. Looking for a delicious, nutritious meal? Come to Everbowl. Our acai bowls are packed with superfoods to fuel your day. And it's where Region 9 sports fans fuel up.
Today's game is brought to you by Findlay Subaru, Honolulu Grill, Nets on Fire, and Intermountain Sports Performance.
Back inside here at Dixie High School, it's your Great Harvest Bread Company halftime show. Start your day with hot breakfast and fresh-made bread, or enjoy a satisfying lunch at either Great Harvest location. Blake O'Rourke and Caden Formaster. Caden, about halfway through this one, it has been dominance for the team up north in Park City.
It has. They've established that run game early. We didn't see them throw the ball until about their third drive or so. And even after that, they were able to kind of get the game moving through the air. 2 big passing plays for nearly totaling up to about 60 yards. And next thing you know, they're running into the end zone again. So, yeah, this Park City team knows how to score, and they're doing well for sure. Just getting the ball into the end zone. You know, again, finding a way through the ground. They have 2 running backs and a quarterback that can all run the ball very well. We saw Bodley take off for a 64-yard touchdown run as well. So, yeah, this is a team that knows how to move the ball.
Yeah, speaking about Warner, Bodley, Cunningham, what do you think the ceiling is like for this 4A team? We were just talking about it. Sky seems to be the limit as long as this team can stay healthy, given that they do play a little bit of a run-and-gun type game.
Yeah, you know, without having seen too much of what 4A looks like this year, I feel like if they're not in the championship game for them as a team, of course championship's always on the mind, right? But I think realistic expectations kind of from the outside looking in is at the very least semifinals, if not maybe in the championship game. I feel like that's what this team's looking at accomplishing right now.
I mean, that being said, they were 11-2 last year, 6-0 in Region 10 play, and not to mention their best season since 2019 when they went to the state championship. They faced Green Canyon in the semifinal, a little bit of a lopsided loss there, but they do have 25 returning seniors on this team, and we're seeing it right now. They have so many weapons anywhere they want to go. Even the Campbell twins, so many of them. Brogan Price had a big pickup as well.
This is why Crimson Cliffs was so good last year, if you remember, right? Because they just returned so many seniors, right? It's all about keeping a crew together. You have camaraderie and chemistry that exists, and a big part of having success as a team is just that. You need chemistry, right? You need to make sure that you can trust the guys that are out there on the field with you. And they have that. They have the chemistry out there. And it's just one notch in their favor, right? It's always nice to return starters. The one thing about Region 9 right now is there's not very many teams that are having a ton of returning guys. No one really has a ton of returning guys for Region 9. And that means it's going to be an uphill battle for our Southern Utah teams. So when a team like Park City comes in to play a team like Dixie right now that's loaded with sophomores, I'm saying 2 years from now, Dixie's going to look a lot like what we're seeing from Park City tonight.
Yeah, and Caden, when we're talking about maybe silver linings on what Dixie might be doing well, the defense has been able to force turnovers in this first half.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We've seen 2 turnovers so far. Both have come from fumble recoveries, if I'm not mistaken here. So one of the big ones was from Marley, that sack fumble. Man, that might have to go down as our defensive play of the game right there, because anytime you can get a sack, huge, right? Anytime you get a fumble recovery, huge. Get it all in one play, why don't you? And they did. That was a massive, massive play there from the Flyers. It put them in scoring position. They were not able to capitalize, but listen, as an offense, you got to just be signing thank you notes to your defense when they're giving you the ball inside of your opponent's territory.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, about 8:50 to go before we kick off the second half. And this segment has been brought to you by Sports Court. Get your home court advantage. Turn your backyard into family fun. Visit sportscourtsouthernutah.com or call 435-586-1282. When we come back, Kate and I are going to be breaking down some of the score updates all around Region 9. You're watching and listening to the Boulevard Home Game of the Week on the Fan Sports Network.
Scooter's Coffee and Hurricane is the best way to start your day or get you through your day. From breakfast sandwiches to cinnamon rolls to amazing smoothies and, of course, coffee. Anytime is a good time to sip and smile. Scooter's Coffee, open 7 days a week.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
Relatives coming to visit, not enough room, or maybe you're looking to host a family reunion and need a house with a pool. Well, Red Rock Vacation Rentals has got you covered. From 2-bedroom condos to 10-bedroom luxury homes, they truly have something for everyone. Plan your perfect getaway or staycation. Visit St. George, Utah, vacationrentals.com.
House of Jump is Southern Utah's only indoor trampoline park and your only place to jump, dunk, and dodge. Head on over to our house, the House of Jump.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Aloha, sports fans. It's Boo and Nick from Honolulu Grill. Come get a taste of the islands. Try our famous Kahlua pork or tender teriyaki chicken, and you'll love our mac salad and sweet sauce on your rice. Don't forget to try our original Kava 8 at Honolulu Grill. It's game time.
Today's game is brought to you by Wilkinson's House of Lighting, The Rink, Jersey Mike's, and Coral Canyon Golf Course.
Halftime here at Dixie High School. Park City currently leading 28-0 on the Great Harvest Bread Company halftime show. And these scores and updates are brought to you by The Rink. Good old-fashioned fun, perfect for a birthday party, night out, or special event. Visit skatetherink.com. Caden, handful of games all over Region 9. One of the big ones, Snow Canyon, that's a close one. One possession game, down by 8, 14-22 in the second quarter. It's a close one for the Warriors.
Yeah, it is. They just made a massive defensive stop as well. Looked like they're going to sack the quarterback. He fumbles it. They pick it right back up about midfield. So, yeah, big play there from Snow Canyon. And they're going to try to look to score before the end of the first half of play and maybe try to tie it up or at least get it close here against Cathedral before the end of the half. But the big one that we need to talk about right now is Crimson Cliffs. They're going up right now 21-7. I like the look of that. Crimson Cliffs going up, and we just haven't seen that yet. You know, they played pretty well last week. We saw them kind of leading at times. Again, they did end up losing that game. But here tonight, this is a solid lead for the Mustangs.
Also just got one here. Hurricane scores again 42-7 in favor of the Tigers. 3:17 left in the second quarter. Watching the stitching come loose, but the Tigers seem to be up and in full form. Really, really solid showing by the Tigers in the first half over there versus Hillcrest. But, yeah, coming back to you about Crimson, up 21-7 right now. When you talk about a team that was the 4A state champions last year, lost a lot of seniors, the questions coming into this season were, what was this team going to look like? They start off 0-2. Though they did play well last week, still 0-2 is 0-2. And now it seems like they really need to make a statement, and now up by a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, this is against Springville. This is a team that in week 1 went against Dixie, the game that we're at right now, and really just took it to the Flyers, you know. Took it hard against the Flyers. And here's Crimson Cliff saying, you can't hurt our crosstown rivals like that, okay? That's for us to do. We need to show you your place. That's what Crimson Cliff's saying. Now, I will say this. I think Crimson and Dixie is going to be a fun matchup coming up in a few weeks, but still, Crimson Cliff's going to Springville and able to put up that kind of a score. That's impressive.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the struggles of Region 9 over the first 3 weeks of this football season, but Cedar is one of those teams that we're really looking forward to. They're up right now 20-7. They went 1-1 after last week's victory, and things seem to be looking up once again for the team up north.
Yeah, I like this for Cedar. You know, they didn't win the last matchup between Canyon View and Cedar. And listen, you talk to anybody, whether they're from Canyon View or from Cedar, you ask them what their favorite game is to play or what the game they have circled on their calendar is for the season. They will 9 times out of 10 say, we want to beat, if you're from Cedar, Canyon View. If you're from Canyon View, they'll say they want to beat Cedar. That crosstown rivalry is just something else. When it comes to region play, they're like, yeah, region play is good. We want to beat Canyon View. So right now with Cedar being up 20-7, that's what they're looking to do.
Other one here, Pineview down by 2 over Tooele. And with that one, it seemed like Pineview was a massive favorite coming into that one, but it's a tight game.
They were a massive favorite right there. And this one with about 4 minutes left in the first half to play, at least with the last score update that we saw. Yeah, that's a little bit of an upset at the moment. I feel like Pineview needs to find a way to turn it on in the second half, see what that connection between maybe Levi Shaw and Brock Harris can do, or, again, any of the other weapons they have right there. But, yeah, it should be an interesting second half for that Pineview-Tooele game for sure.
Got to ask you, Levi Shaw, player of the year so far for Region 9?
Maybe quarterback of the year.
Okay.
Maybe quarterback of the year for sure. When it comes to player of the year, that's still so tough to say, especially when you have a few running backs who haven't played too much. Titan Mason, Rand Sawyer, just to name the two that come to my mind first. But I would definitely dare say Levi Shaw has been a pleasant surprise for Region 9 quarterbacks at the very least.
Power ranking number 1 and number 2 for the preseason first team by the media. Rand Sawyer, Titan Mason, haven't seen a lot of them back and running, but with that, just about 90 seconds before we kick off this second half. We're going to take a quick short break. Again, this Region 9 scoreboard update was brought to you by The Rink. When we come back, second half action will commence right here on the Boulevard Home Game of the Week on the Fan Sports Network.
Oh, hello, Italian nightclub from Jimmy John's. Ciao, freshly baked bread piled with Italian-style meats. Hey, hand-sliced veggies. Am I obsessed with this sandwich? Yeah. So what if I am? Jimmy John's. Order online or on the app.
At Intermountain Sports Performance, we've been training athletes for over 20 years, and we guarantee your athlete will improve speed, agility, explosive power, and reduce the risk of injury while working with the most qualified and experienced team in Southern Utah. Find us on Instagram at sportsperformance_IH to learn more.
Nets on Fire is the place to hoop in Southern Utah. Elevate your game with group or individual training with elite coaching. Hustle to netsonfire.org to learn more and see why so many rising stars hoop at Nets. Nets on Fire, building champions on and off the court.
From bold statements to subtle compliments, Wilkinson's House of Lighting will help you more fully enjoy all the different spaces in your home. Stop in and see what's new at Wilkinson's House of Lighting, a proud sponsor of Region 10 Athletics.
Hey, it's Luke with Uding Associates at American Family Insurance. At Uding Associates, we love insurance so you don't have to. With a quick call, we can get you an instant quote with the right coverages. My team of licensed agents are ready to help you with better insurance from American Family. Give us a call at 435-251-9102.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Hello? Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Today's game is brought to you by Boulevard Home, Wilkinson's House of Lighting, Coral Canyon Golf Course, and City of St. George Recreation.
Back inside Dixie High School, Blake O'Ruling, Caden Formaster here for your Boulevard Home game of the week. Caden 28-0, the scoreboard right now. And with that, we've still got a lot of football to be played. Cannot wait for it.
Absolutely. A lot of football still left. Full half here in this matchup from Dixie High School. And want to give a quick shout out as well to tomorrow. Just up the street from here, we've got Utah Tech football as well. So if you're here in the Southern Utah area and you want to watch some college football, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Montana State is in town taking on the Trailblazers. Now, the Fan Sports Network is going to be over at the tailgate. That kicks off at 6 o'clock over at the old East Elementary School, which I know a lot of Dixie fans know that place very well. It's in Dixie High School territory over at the Atwood Plaza. So 6 o'clock is a tailgate. Come join us for the festivities. We're going to start broadcasting a pregame show live, myself and Devin Dixon, at 7 o'clock, getting you ready for game time, a half-hour pregame tailgate show before we kick it up to Rod Zundel, voice of the Trailblazers, at 7:30. And he'll take you right up to kickoff at 8 o'clock. But again, get on over to Greater Zion Stadium if you want to catch some early football with week one here for some college football. This is a good opportunity to see it right here in our hometown of Southern Utah, St. George, Greater Zion Stadium. No better place to be.
You know, we've been having so much fun these first 3 weeks of high school football, but it is great to have us be here on the eve of week one of college football. There's nothing quite like it.
No, I talk about the slow burn of football when high school sports kicks in. You kind of have some NFL preseason, which, let's be real, not a lot of people watch it. I understand that, but you get at least the high school football going, then college football kicks in. And just this week we have college football. Big day tomorrow for some college football. And maybe even a bigger day coming up this next weekend when we have college, high school, and the NFL all rolling in a week.
It's going to be very busy. Thursday night football, the Sao Paulo game for the NFL, then Saturday with college football, Sunday as well. Not to mention, of course, we're going to have the Friday night lights hot and ready as well, as we are just about ready to kick off the second half of this game between the Dixie Flyers and the Park City Miners. But yeah, Caden, absolutely cannot wait for it. Football almost back in full form.
Absolutely, as we're getting ready for the Flyers to kick this one away. Kickoff brought to you by City of St. George Recreation. If you want to get your kids into this kind of action, that's the place to go. City of St. George Recreation. Visit sgcity.org.
Quick whistle on the play.
Goes into the end zone. The ball will be marked at the 20-yard line.
They're giving a false start on the kicking team, though, and they're going to bring it right on back.
So we'll redo the kick. Originally called that it was going to be a touchback, but the whistle blew far before it was in the end zone.
Yeah, the whistle was blowing the second the ball was in the air. So looks like they're going to be moving it back a Couple of yards here. Gonna have to re-kick now from the 40. Looks like they'll be placing it to the 35 on the false start, giving them that 5-yard penalty, which could make this a little more returnable now for Park City.
Want to give a big thank you to Back 9 Golf. Experience Back 9 indoor golf. Feel like a pro taking the world of golf to the next level. Nothing boosts your game like an hour at the Back 9.
Listen, 1 hour at the Back 9 is like 4 on the course.
That sounds like a blast.
It's so much fun. If you haven't ever done a simulator, go check out Back 9.
So many incredible sponsors as we are just about ready to once again kick off the second half.
A good boot on it there as well.
Able to pick up the return, back the other way. Park City with a little bit of room. Stopped right around the 25. Tate Campbell with the return, the senior out of Park City.
What I love about that is, again, they're setting up at the 25. It's like an old school NFL kickoff. Not anymore because the NFL doesn't place it at the 25. They've got those weird kickoff rules this year. But I've always wondered why the NFL was able to have the ball placed at the 25, but high school and college, they made them go from the 20. I'm like, come on, NFL, you guys are the pros. You guys need more field to run. Put you guys at the 20, put high school up to the 25.
Bash Bodley, a successful first half. Some jumping at the line. Already been a couple of encroachment calls on the Flyers. We'll see what this one is, as they're going to move the ball 5 yards forward.
Ball. Encroachment, 44 of the defense. Remains first down.
Now, here's something interesting. Dixie right now with 5 penalties against him. Park City, 0.
So far been very disciplined. That time getting swallowed up by the line. No pickup. In fact, a little bit of a loss on yardage for Park City. It'll be third and about 6 or 7 for the Miners.
I believe it's actually just second here after the penalty. I think they kept it at.
You're right.
Yeah, but either way, the stop was great here by Dixie because, again, you allowed them to gain those 5 yards off of a penalty. So now bringing it to second down, you put them at a 2nd and 5. You almost just look at it as, just pretend that was a 5-yard run.
Quick screen pass dropped on the far side, unable to bring it in. And with that, it will now be 3rd and 5. My bad on that one, kid.
Yeah, not a worry there. But here's the good thing about that now, again, for Dixie. 2 stops in a row after your mistake, 3rd and 5. One more stop right here, ball could be right back in your hands. So expect the run. Expect the run here because I'm kind of thinking an option where maybe Bodley's going to try to keep it himself because he's been really good on the ground.
Just got a score update presented by the Rink. 7 touchdowns at halftime scored for Hurricane. Back to the action here. Warner gets his first run of the half, able to move the sticks and now breaks free. 1 to beat, able to get it inside the 20, the 10, touchdown, Park City.
Now that play was exactly what they needed to run there because they went for the fake as it was Warner coming back to the other side. So the good fake handoff, Warner taking it to the other direction, pushed the defense to the near side, and he takes off with it to the far side. As you can see him just easily blowing past that defense, running down the far sideline, all the way in for the score. 34-0, PAT pending. Could be 35 here for the Miners.
Pidwell been perfect so far. Touchdown number 5. Nearly blocked. Anzalone was flirting with it, but unable to do so. Kick is good. 35-0 on the Wilkinson scoreboard. We'll be back with more second half action right after this.
Own property and want to rent it? Then you need the right team with 11 years of local experience, a staff of over 25 employees, and a 4.9 Google rating. Aim to maximize your rental income and find quality tenants while keeping turnover low to increase your revenue and truly maintain your property. Learn more at redrockpropertymanagement.com.
Hi, I'm Jermaine O'Jegler from The Rink, and I'm inviting you to come out and skate The Rink. The Rink is the hot spot in town for big group events and kid birthday parties. We now have a karaoke room and retro skate night every Friday night. Visit skatetherink.com to learn more and let the good times roll at The Rink.
At Great Harvest, we believe in crafting more than just bread. We provide crisp, garden-fresh salads and savory sandwiches. everything from garden fresh ingredients to our signature handcrafted bread. Our friendly staff will guide you to find a meal that will leave you craving seconds. At Great Harvest, we truly provide something for everyone. And don't forget our baked goods. Satisfy your sweet tooth and finish your meal with a brownie or...
So a slow second quarter calls for a fast first touchdown of the second half. Just a minute and 3 seconds off the clock before Eli Warner makes the Flyers pay for it once again. Blake O'Rulian, Caden Formaster. Caden, this Park City running game is unlike anything we have seen so far this season.
Yeah, listen, when they need 5 yards, they go for the run, and sometimes 5 yards, like in this case, 5 can turn into 70 real quick. And that was kind of the case here. You know what? That turned into a 70-yard run for the Miners off of the need to gain 5. And this is what we're seeing right now from this Miners team. It's just running all over the place.
Back to pass is Truman, able to find Anzalone, but hit in the back hard by the Park City defense.
Yeah, a crack back right there, and you don't like to see that. Anzalone's still down, and they're bringing out the training staff. Not a good hit.
And if you remember, Caden, we actually mentioned it. He got hit in the back hard earlier on in the game as well. That's not the first time that back has been targeted. Anzalone's still down.
Yeah, man, I don't like to see that because, and I don't know if it's just the wind knocked out of him, but either way, that's a rough play. That's a rough play. Let's see if we can check it out here on the Holbrook Asphalt replay to at least see where the hit happened.
Just directly on the center of the back.
Do you know what I don't love about that? There's no wrap-up. There's no intent to just keep the momentum moving from the defensive side. All of it was just to take a hit, just to hit, right? And, you know, I'm not saying that that's kind of a penalty hit either, but it just does leave the receiver unprotected.
We see Anzalone back on his feet, walking around with a Dixie Flyer trainer. We will play on here, 10:32 to go in this third quarter. Happy to see Anzalone back on his feet, Caden.
Yeah, and I do think that maybe was just a scenario where he got the air knocked out of him and more than anything else. But still, you never want to see someone go down and lay down.
Truman hands it off. Lots of room to work. Battles through the line. And right near the first down marker, we'll see where it's placed. But it looks like they got just enough. Once again, thanks to Dixie's offense.
Yeah, and that's, again, sophomore Bereze, who's coming through for the run. We're seeing a lot of him tonight. He's been making some big plays. Another fabulous Freddy's first down.
Truman fakes the handoff. That one targeted for Crew. Met in the backfield. No pickup on that one. But, yeah, Castle Bereze, lots of success so far, being the man next to Wyatt Truman. Picked up a handful of yards in the second quarter, and they're going back to the well here in the third.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that was an RPO or if it was a designed draw screen play, but the defense got back to the receiver a little earlier than they would have liked there, obviously, taking him down after only a gain of a yard.
Truman alone in the backfield, stepping back, scanning, will find a man. Not enough picked up. Isaiah Johnson, first time we've seen him reel one in tonight. 3 receptions so far on the season for the sophomore tight end.
Yeah, they did a little bit of a crossing route there with Kruber, who had come across and was able to kind of keep the defense at bay, allowed him to come on over and have an open lane to bring in that catch, but just for a couple of yards there. So you'd like to see Dixie, they're making these catches, right, but you want to see them just break free on one of these and take it for a minimum a first down here.
3rd and 7 for the Flyers. Truman able to itch away at this defense. He'll take one himself, lowers his head, bucket to bucket on that one. A little bit of a scrum in the middle, but fired up is the Dixie Flyers offense.
Yeah, I like to see him fired up like that. And again, it does move the chains. That's fantastic. But see Wyatt Truman just lower the shoulder and go for it. And it was a big collision there, and you got to be careful. I feel like as a coach, you cringe a little when you see that, but as a player, it fires you up.
Truman back, gives it over to Castle Bereze. Couple of yards picked up. And talking about Wyatt Truman, I mean, we saw some reps for Deacon Virgin. Saw him get a little bit loose earlier. Wyatt Truman, wanting to keep that starting spot, takes it for himself.
Yeah, and again, right now Dixie just kind of working the ground game, which I know they really like to go to, especially when they have someone like Rand Sawyer who can run that jet sweep so well, or even this year they're putting him more in of a true running back role. But Berze is a sophomore, he's getting some pretty good reps.
Fakes the handoff. Truman takes it himself, swallowed up, but a handful of flags.
Yeah, that's going to go. That's going to go against Park City there. Just he was already going down, so some big hits coming in a little too late after the option. He keeps it himself, and yeah, the big hits. It'll be a first down here for the Flyers.
Flyers fans are not happy about it whatsoever. Turned the fandom into a little bit of a frenzy there.
Illegal helmet contact, number 30. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, as they say, illegal helmet contact or a targeting call is, as it's maybe more commonly known, but that is a big penalty, 15 yards. So, listen, as a defense, when the guy's already going down like that, just let your other defender take care of it. I know you want to come in and help out, and you're probably taught to come in and help out. That's fine. You can't just go helmet to helmet.
Wyatt Truman taking a couple of hits, but moving the sticks in the process. 1st and 10, ball on the 38. Again, like we saw in the second quarter, a little bit more wind in the sails for this Dixie squad. 7:15 to go on the clock.
And more mistakes here from Park City. You know, you look at the score, it's 35-0. They need to keep it clean, though, here as Anzalone takes it to the far side for a gain of 2.
Seen a little bit more of that jet sweep as well. We've seen Anzalone take that a couple of times. That one not as successful as times in the past, but that being said, still able to pick up a couple of yards. Quick thank you to our friends over at Intermountain Sports Performance. There is no off-season to get sport-specific training at Intermountain Sports Performance. With locations from Logan all the way down to St. George, Intermountain Sports Performance, an official sponsor of the Fan Sports Network. Truman back to pass, looking for it, batted up in the air, unable to reel it in. Number 86, Brady Christensen, the sophomore tight end, just unable to get his hands on it.
Sophomores. We've been talking about it all night. The amount of sophomores that are playing varsity minutes has been insane. And, again, I like to see some of these younger guys getting in. Again, just got his hands on it. He was open. The pass was there. It's just not placed perfectly to his liking. But, again, you're hitting him in the hands. You want to see him pull that in.
3rd and 8. Ball on the 35. Dixie still looking to infiltrate the scoreboard. Quick jump on the line.
That's going to go against Dixie. It's going to be brought back there as Crew Bereze, who jumped on the receiver position, and it moved everyone on over.
False start. Dead ball.
So.
False start. Offense number 9. 5-yard penalty remains 3rd down.
3rd down from the 40.
Seemed like they were getting close to maybe flirting with that Red Rock Real Estate red zone, and now pushed back about 15 yards out.
That's now 6-1 penalties. Dixie 6 with Park City 1.
Truman dancing backwards. He'll throw it up, flicks it over to the running back. It's Castle once again, brought down by the Park City secondary. Pearson Abisher, the cornerback, a senior for Park City, able to stop the bleeding on the side of Park City.
All 4 of the defensive linemen got through as Wyatt Truman was backpedaling. Now, here's what that did, though, which is interesting. It put 4 defenders off, right? And so now you make that pass, and you have 4 guys out of the way. Here's the problem, though. The linebackers were still ready for it, so short gain there. I don't know if it was necessarily drawn up that way, but every single one of those offensive linemen just let their guy through.
So 4th and 13, looks like Dixie is going to go for it. A little bit of Dan Campbell, Detroit Lions move here, but certainly got to put points on the board if they're going to stay competitive here tonight. Truman met with a couple, rolls out of the pocket, finds a man over the middle, batted down by Park City once again. A locked-in secondary finds a turnover on downs. Miners about to take the field once again.
Yeah, and I'd rather have seen him go to Jones Carter over here, who was way more open on the near side. But when you're on the run like that and the blitz is coming right at you, you got to make those quick decisions. As he's running up towards that line of scrimmage, a throw has to be made, and he knows if he runs with it, there's not as likely of a chance you're going to gain those 10 yards. So he goes for the pass, but throws it into some intense coverage.
Wyatt Truman, only 19 passing yards at Mountain Ridge last week, also -2 rushing yards for the Flyers. But tonight, definitely more than that coming in. We don't have the live statistics, but has been able to find options and find spots around the field to get some completions going. Back on offense are the Miners, able to infiltrate a little bit right around the 9-yard line. Ball was lost, but refs called it down. About 2nd and 1, it looks like it's going to be for Park City.
Yeah, for the Miners here, what I like to see from them is these just yards after contact. They're getting through the line, but they're pushing it forward for 7-8 yards after getting through the line of scrimmage. So here we go on 2nd and short.
That last run was by Jackson Ritchie, the junior running back. Only had 2 carries last week for 4 total yards. Picked up 8 there for the Miners. Once again, bullying his way through, able to get the first down for Park City. More of the run game. Brian Roberts on the carry for that one. Also had a touchdown last week, the junior for Park City.
Yeah, taking it 10 yards there. And this is what Park City's been really good at, is chunk yardage, okay? We've talked about it before. They're not going just, 1 and then 20. It's like it might be 8, it might be 10, but they're keeping it pretty consistent around that mark, especially on this drive.
Just 3:10 left on the clock. This third quarter has flown by. Back to the ground we go. That one able to get swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Jackson Ritchie with another carry.
And that's CJ Mayava on the takedown there, who, again, just read it very well. Was able to get back into that backfield, wrap him up early, bring him back down right near that original line of scrimmage.
Mayava, a couple of tackles already this season for the 205-pounder defensive end, a senior for this Dixie squad, certainly a leader on this defensive line. Just about 2.5 to go. Back up the gut, stopped again by the Flyers.
And here's what I love about that. They decide to rush 5. They show 4, rush 5. And perfect scenario to do so as the Miners try to rush it up the middle, but it got stuffed up so early. The Flyers find themselves in a great position here with a 3rd and 8, but we've seen this before. We've seen this story. What happens? 3rd and 8, they're going to try to, again, push it up the gut here and gain these 8 yards, maybe through the ground, maybe through the air, but don't be surprised to see him running it.
Bodley will set the table. He's looking towards the near side, finds Cusimano, able to get out of bounds.
Is it just enough or not quite? I think he's got right to the line to gain. And every time I think they're going to run it, they decide to throw it on me.
Cusimano, the junior tight end, seems to be settling into a key role for this Park City team. And what we've seen so far in this third quarter, at least, is we haven't seen nearly as much Eli Warner. We saw the touchdown, but on this drive, no Warner, no Cunningham, letting a couple of the other Miners get a couple of reps and pick up some yards for Park City.
Here they go, I formation.
Nice play action, finds a man over the middle. Park City able to pick up a couple more yards as the clock continues to tick. Caden, every time I look at it, a minute more goes by. Maybe the fastest quarter of the night thus far.
Gain of 7, 2nd down, 3.
Yeah, absolutely. So here on 2nd down with only 3 left to go. And I like to see him going through the air a little more. I assume it's a run, right? I assumed it just a few plays before, and they make me look foolish, and I don't like that. But listen, I actually do appreciate them going through the air a little bit more because we just don't see it a lot from this team. And Bodley has been fairly accurate in his passing game.
Bodley looking to take it himself, has a massive touchdown earlier in, trucks a man, stays on his feet for just a second, drop down, but they are going to be able to move the chains with that run by the quarterback.
And that was a designed keeper. As soon as he took the snap, he tucks and runs it out to that far side. And what's interesting about that is anytime you bring the receivers to one side, you assume that they're going to use them for blocking, right? They bring the receivers to the near side. He runs it to the far side. Everyone still shifts to that far side. The thing about that is you're doing this play not as a way to go try to gain 10, 15 yards. You just needed a few for that first down. So try to throw that defense closer to the near side, open up the field over on the far side, and that's exactly what they did. They just needed a few yards, and he got about 5 on that one.
Just about 10 ticks to go here. It'll be 1st and 10, ball on the 19. Bodley will get one more off before the quarter expires. Back to the running game we go. Brian Roberts with another solid run. Again, just itching away at this Flyers defense as that will close things out for the third frame. 4th and final quarter coming up right here on the Wilkinson scoreboard. We'll be back with fourth quarter action right here on the Fan Sports Network.
Need an appliance or two? AWP's got you. Check out the remodeled expansive showroom, highlighting the Cafe series with colors like matte black, matte white, and modern glass. Make your kitchen stand out. Come see the local boys at AWP across the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart.
Welcome to the Back Nine. We bring the world's best courses to you. Elevate your game at any time with 24/7 access to top-tier golf technology and expert PGA instructors available. Back Nine Golf is a place to improve your swing for all ages. Join us today.
Best Friends Animal Sanctuary in Kanab is open daily for free family fun. Take a tour, volunteer, hike a trail, or bring home a new best friend. Visit Best Friends today for magical memories that'll last forever.
Create your own relaxing, comfortable space. Boulevard Home offers the guaranteed best prices on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. And buy with no interest financing. Shop Boulevard Home, because home is who we are.
You could wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that can make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks A stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
One-way traffic in favor of the Park City Miners as we enter into the final frame of this game. 2nd and 2, ball on the 12 in what has been all Park City in this second half. Eli Warner with a touchdown in the third, and again, just about ready to get this going. A hard count by Bodley. Now will back it up. Able to target his man, but ricochets off the hands. Hard to see the target on that one, but nonetheless, it will be 3rd and 2. A running clock up until that incompleted pass. But with it being 35-0, this clock keeps running if the ball is on the ground, if it's through the air. But we do see the incompleted pass.
Yep. Ball. It doesn't matter whether it's caught, whether it's a run, whether we run out of bounds. This clock keeps ticking until Dixie could score and tighten things up. Anytime it's a 35 or more lead. So, but right now again, Park City marching on a 3rd down here.
I formation, quick toss over to the near side. Not a ton of room, but a solid run nonetheless by Jackson Ritchie, I believe. I'm seeing 27 on that, if my eyes are serving me well, Caden.
Yeah, I believe so, and that was a great stop to bring up 4th down, 4th and short here. Flyers defense, again, probably preparing for these short runs. Every time I think it's a run, they've gone past, but listen, on 4th and short, you almost have to go with what you know and with what's consistent and continue to just push through the ground here. Maybe they go keeper. I wouldn't be surprised to see that, but they keep the formation tight here.
4th and 1. Park City's going to go for it, given placement on the field inside the Red Rock Real Estate red zone. Handing it off seems to have gotten just enough. Brian Roberts doing the dirty work for the Park City Miners, and that will keep this clock running. 1st down for Park City.
Yeah, they fake the sweep there, and they go with the delayed handoff to the running back who punches it up the middle. And it's a well-designed play in this scenario where you want to throw the defense off as much as possible, try to get maybe a few players over to the side. And they say they made the stop, so it will be Dixie ball.
I thought
How about
clearly it
that?
gotten over a yard on that one, if I'm being honest, but I apologize for that. Jumped the gun a little bit, turnover on downs in favor of the Flyers.
Hey, that's a big defensive stop right there for the Flyers. And again, as I kind of mentioned, even on a well-designed running play, the one thing I could say about the Flyer defense, they held true. They saw that, listen, we need to just keep it locked in right here, maybe a couple backs in the back going out to the side in case someone does come around.
Flooded the gut were the Flyers, and now with a chance to score on their own 10-yard line. A short pickup by the run game for the Flyers is Wyatt Truman. Back up under center for Dixie. Stats tonight brought to you by Scooters Coffee. Start your day at Scooters. Amazing drinks served by amazing people. Caden, 9:35 on the clock. 5 touchdowns scored by Park City. 2 by Cunningham, 2 by Warner, 1 by Bodley. But Wyatt Truman making it messy to gain a couple of yards as well for the Flyers. Don't want to be out of this game just yet.
No, not just yet. That was a really solid run there by Wyatt Truman. One of the things I'm kind of keeping my eye on right now is number 91 of the defense, Mario Ibisher, who has been limping a little out there, and even on this last play, still out there, but limping pretty heavily. And he's out there on the far side, on the right end. Maybe if you're Dixie, you see that. Maybe start taking to that right side.
Bisher, the sophomore defensive tackle, able to swat it down with a tackle. Park City secondaries hold strong. It's going to be 4th and 2.
On 4th down, they bring out the punting unit here.
Yeah, talking about Mario Abisher, also has a sack on the season. Certainly a key component to this defensive squad for the Park City Miners, who have not allowed a single point on the scoreboard. Presented by Wilkinson's House of Lighting. Here, the local shop, Best of Southern Utah for 5 years in a row. Wilkinson's House of Lighting, an official sponsor of the Fan Sports Network. Back to punt is Randolph. On the other side, able to reel it in. Back on the feet, met by an ocean of Dixie Flyers. The ball will be placed right around the 40-41 line. Lots of field to play with for Park City, who has been dominant thus far through 3.5 quarters.
And a good set there by the Flyers where you have your receiver bringing it near side. There's nothing there. He has to try to take it far side. He's got 2 Flyers in his face, and ultimately wrapped up as 3 of them are right there. From the point of the catch to when he went down, I mean, he was on his feet for a long time, but didn't gain any yardage after the catch.
Yeah, Nicholas Morgan on the return, unable to garner much offense. Back on the field, and now seeing a different man to orchestrate the offense for Park City. We'll get a number in just a moment, but a wide gap picks up another chunk of yards. Solid run by Brian Roberts. He's getting a lot of action here in this second half, Cade.
And that's number 13, Cole Morgan, back there at quarterback position. Just a junior in his own right, but let's see what he does as he's leading the offense here with 1 first down gained here, and another, again, brought to you by Fabulous Freddy's first down.
Morgan hands it off once again. Running game is as potent as can be. Another strong pickup by the Miners. Brian Roberts with another Fabulous Freddy's first down. Cole Morgan and this Miners offense marching right now, Caden.
Absolutely, and they're loving this ground game.
Once again, 21 up the gut. Stopped a little bit earlier than the last couple of plays, but still strong pickup for Park City. Looking to widen the gap once again. Could potentially be 42 points pending right now for Park City.
Yeah, it's linebacker Alex Ortega who comes in and reads that run after they've done it now twice in a row. He reads it and comes in to make the stop.
So again, Cole Morgan, the backup quarterback for Park City. It's safe to say Warner, Bodley, Cunningham, who really dominated through the first half, will sit for the rest of this one. Trying to catch the edge, unable to do so. Swallowed up is Jackson Ritchie.
Ritchie, the ball carrier.
And just running the clock right now, 6:35 to go before we close credits on this one.
Yeah, there's not much left here in this one at all, and as we're going to be counting down the minutes before we get into that Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show coming up at the end of the fourth quarter. But with this game in the hands of Park City, they're just going to keep it on the ground and keep punching away at this one. Maybe a couple through the air with some new guys in. Like to see that here, and sure enough, they go.
Morgan targets near the far side, overshot. No one there. But nonetheless, like you just said, getting a couple of opportunities for the young quarterback.
Yeah, and that's, again, these games where it's preseason, it's, and in this scenario where they're leading by so much, just have fun with it. And that goes for both teams. I think for Dixie, too. See what you have in your arsenal. I've mentioned this before, and kind of in the halftime show. See what's in your arsenal. Right now for Park City, listen, heaven forbid you have any injuries. You don't want that, right? But if that were to happen, you want to know who you have that can replace it and make sure that they have some scenarios where they're playing in-game as they now go for a field goal on fourth down.
Tanner Pidwell, 16 for 16 on extra points and field goals. This one lost the owner for just a second. Park City's going to heave it downfield, intercepted by Dixie. It looks as though I'm seeing Seth Morby able to pick that one up, number 5. But a bottled catch trying to get the field goal. Pidwell unable to even get the opportunity to put it through the uprights. And with that, Dixie going to work on their own 11-yard line.
Yeah, and this is Seth Morby again coming in with some big plays. We've seen him and called his name already a few times tonight. And, he's just one of the bright spots right now on this Dixie defense.
Back in are the Flyers. Strong pickup.
Carrier takes the ball to the 20-yard line. Gain of 9
Go for an
yards.
8 or 9 yard gain right there, and that's a big run for the Flyers. We like to see those big yardages. And, again, I think the most we've seen from Dixie in one play is maybe 15 or so.
Castle Berze once again. Quick false start call.
False start, number 63 offense. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
False start against Zeke Aldridge there. So that'll bring it right on back for the Flyers. And again, just another flag against Dixie here. They keep packing on those yellow flags.
Zeke Aldridge, number 63, the senior left guard, 5'10", 240 pounds, been protecting quarterbacks for quite some time now. Back to pass. Once again, that one botched up in the air and running it back right now. Park City is going to put it through the end zone once again.
Intercepted by the Miners, return for a touchdown.
Big pickup, Lucas Crossan, the senior middle linebacker, with the pick. And with that, Park City up 41-0.
Yeah, there was a flag for the excessive celebration. Spun the football. You just can't do things like that at the end of it all. But listen, the excitement of a pick six, I kind of understand why he did it. You just don't see it all that often. It's not an every game situation where you get a pick six. And, a defensive touchdown is always fun. But listen, time and place as well, right? You're up. At that point, it was 35. You tack on more to make it 41. The celebration can maybe just chill for a little bit.
Park City making some personnel adjustments.
After the play, dead ball unsportsmanlike, taunting, offense. That will be enforced on the kickoff. Try.
So as you heard, kickoff will be moved a little bit due to the excessive celebration by Park City. Pidwell back up for the PAT. Able to get that one through the uprights. Still perfect is Pidwell. And now 42-0 with 4:34 left to play. We'll be right back with the close of this game right here on the Fan Sports Network. You're watching the Boulevard Home Game of the Week.
Red Rock Real Estate has over 200 professional realtors in the St. George area that specialize in the local market. Whether you're buying your dream home, looking for an investment property, or want to sell your home for the highest amount, the Red Rock Real Estate team is here to assist you. Get started now by visiting redrockrealestate.com.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
Today's game is brought to you by Everbowl, Back 9 Golf, Fabulous Freddy's, and Great Harvest Bread Company.
Dixie Flyers have not been able to stop the bleeding, down 42-0. Back-to-back games in which there is a pending shutout. No points scored thus far, Caden, since week 1.
That's right, and with just 4:34 left to play here, and the penalty, again, for those wondering why they're kicking off from the 25-yard line, there was that unsportsmanlike penalty. So that'll give the Flyers a good chance to at least try to return something here. This one's booted way back.
Received right around the 10-yard line, a little bit of a head start. Still stopped right around the 31-yard line is where they will likely spot it, with Dixie looking to just grace the scoreboard for the first time with just under 4.5 to go.
Yeah, so for the Flyers here, it'll be interesting to see what they try to go with, what they're scheming here on this play, but I'm seeing number 6 coming back in here for the Flyers. We got Deacon Virgin back there behind center.
Deacon Virgin, Wyatt Truman been going back and forth under center tonight. Deacon Virgin certainly impressed many of the masses. High snap there, able to get it off to Castle once again, stopped behind the line of scrimmage. But Castle Berzay, another name that has kind of populated here tonight, and despite the blowout loss, most likely, for the Flyers, there's still some things to take away from this game, primarily those two in the backfield.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to pay closer attention to some of those things, right? And again, we still have Deacon Virgin here behind center. I want to see him try to air one out here potentially, but instead they go with the run to the far side.
Berzay able to pick up some yards, just about the halfway point between the markers. It will be 3rd and medium for the Flyers. And yeah, like you mentioned, Deacon Virgin impressed a lot. Castle Berzay just getting so many reps, and with Rand Sawyer coming back, you'll have to wonder what the roles will look like. But hoping to see Rand Sawyer, because as we have seen over the last 2 weeks in which he hasn't played, there hasn't been a lot of offense for Dixie.
High snap.
High snap causes for a sack. Park City fired up on that one. Justice Farrell, just one tackle coming into tonight. Another flag on the play for most likely excessive celebration. But the senior middle linebacker.
Ball. Unsportsmanlike number 34 defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Senior middle linebacker able to sack Deacon Virgin for a loss, but they do get the flag on the play. Therefore, a little bit of a move up the chains for the Flyers.
Yeah, and again, it's just these simple mistakes. And again, I get you're fired up. You're going to win this game, but there comes a point where when you're up by 42-0, you know, sportsmanship still needs to come into play here.
Back to the handoff. Starting to pick up speed. Just one man to beat, unable to get it. Dane Dobler with one of his best pickups of the entire season this year. His yardage was in the negatives last week, but able to get a fresh set of downs for Dixie with 2:20 to go.
Yeah, that's a big push in the right direction here for the Flyers. And you're looking for bright spots in a game like this. That's going to be one of them.
Dobler has the ball once again, cuts inside, stopped by the Park City Minor defense. But again, Dane Dobler, another one of those names, a sophomore who's able to get some more opportunities. We see some frustration as he bats his helmet a little bit. But still a solid showing by him, as well as so many others on this Dixie team. Unable to convert them into points, but some positive yardage, unlike last week. Another run for Dixie. This one able to get just around the short side of the first down marker. Not there just yet. Castle once again on the run with 90 seconds to go.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from Castle Berzay, who's relatively unused by this Flyer offense until this game tonight, where they're really putting him to work.
Wasn't even on my board coming into tonight. Had to go and refer to the roster, but certainly making a name for himself. Once again, has the ball, dancing a little bit in the backfield. Met by a couple of defenders. Dropped down by the Miners. But Castle Bereze staying on the field, still valiant in every single run that he's getting the opportunity with.
One thing I'm noticing there is after the takedown, one of the Miners who was standing close to and forgive me, I'm not sure who was that had the tackle there.
Levi McCamus.
So he goes up to Levi. Levi kind of does the flex and he just kind of grabs his arms like, nope, we don't need more excessive celebrations.
A couple of those already here late in the fourth quarter. A scrum of white and blue jerseys. We're going to get a forward progress call. Ball is loose, but play was called off well prior. And with that, we will see changing of the guard once again. Final seconds here of the fourth and final quarter in which Park City has dominated. Johnson's Pediatric postgame show is coming up on the other side of a break. As the clock continues to run down, we'll be giving the sub of the game, the star of the game, and much more. Caden, this has been such a blast.
Listen, it's been a blast for Park City fans, I'll tell you that. But it's always fun to at least just be out here. The good weather. It's been a nice night here in St. George.
Park City back up under center. We'll let the clock just about run out. One final run on the ground, and that will close things up for this Week 3 matchup. Park City is going to move to 3-0 in a 42-0 shutout. Dixie back to the drawing board once again, moving into Week 4. We'll talk a little bit more about that and much more on the Johnson's Pediatric postgame show coming up right after this short break.
Hey, it's Luke with Udine Associates at American Family Insurance. At Udine Associates, we love insurance so you don't have to. With a quick call, we can get you an instant quote with the right coverages. My team of licensed agents are ready to help you with better insurance from American Family. Give us a call at 435-251-9102.
You could wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that can make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks A stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
When it comes to your child's teeth, Dr. Cody and his experienced staff at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry are game changers. So when it comes to checkups, a toothache, or any problem with your kid's teeth, call experienced veteran Dr. Cody Johnson at Johnson Pediatric Dentistry, 628-0511.
Hey, it's Marco from Coral Canyon Golf Course inviting you to play the course with the best backdrop in Southern Utah. Make sure you get out and experience great golf for a great price at Coral Canyon. Visit coralcanyongolfcourse.com or call us at 435-688-1700 for your tee times.
You could wander around a warehouse store forever and never find the one thing that can make all the difference. A helpful face? Now that's something to consider. Everything your local Bucks A stands for is written on our faces. Welcoming, neighborly, knowledgeable. When you're in need of a helpful face, visit one of our 3 Southern Utah locations.
Curtains closing in here in St. George, a 42-0 victory in favor of the Park City Miners. Closing up shop, Blake O'Rulian, Caden Formaster. And again, like I said right before we bowed out for that commercial break, Caden, back to the drawing board for Dixie. A tough loss, back-to-back shutouts for the Flyers right here on their home turf.
Yeah, it's always tough whenever you go 0-3 through the preseason. You never want to see that. But listen, preseason now is behind you. You get into region play. It's competition you know, you've seen. The best thing about that is road games don't feel like they're all that far. You can still have kind of a home crowd feel even for the away games. So going into the region play, you do have more to look forward to with this for sure. But you know what? If anything, you know what identity you have. You know what some of your bright spots are. And for Dixie, this is a year where they're just kind of trying to regroup after losing some seniors. And really, it's been kind of the last 2 years. Last year was a bit of a regroup year, and they still finished okay, you know. Expect it to be very similar this year. They're still going to be okay. it's just the preseason is tough, and they schedule a tough preseason all the time. So just expect that for Dixie coming into the near future, that just because they went 0-3 here does not mean they stay with a goose egg in the win column for much longer.
And with Blaine Munkers, 34 seasons at the helm of any sort of coaching position, this is not his first rodeo. He has seen teams struggle in the preseason. Last year, they were 0-3, but they were still able to come away with 4-2 in the record for region play. Next week, they're going to be facing Hurricane, where it looks like Hurricane will be 1-2. Again, Dixie winless coming into region play, but that's going to be a very interesting one. Dixie had a little bit of a higher stock coming into this season, but Hurricane has been the shocker for everyone thus far.
Yeah, absolutely. Hurricane's been interesting to say the least, just because they're scoring the football. They haven't won a ton of games, but they're on track to win tonight. I will say this about the Tigers, though. They got a brand new coach that knows how to win, coming out of Duchesne, where his established coach, Coach Cowan, has established a winning culture over there. They won a bunch of state championships. So welcome into the region, Coach Cowan and the Hurricane Tigers.
Yeah, 5 state championships for Coach Cowan as they move into region play next week. Cannot wait for it. Forgot to mention this as we came back in, but welcome into the Johnson Pediatric post-game show. Dr. Cody makes your kids feel right at home. Johnson Pediatrics always has a new patient special, cleaning exam and x-rays for just $79. Call today at 435-656-0511. All right, got a handful of awards to give out in what was a lopsided win for the Miners, but we do find some silver linings for the Dixie Flyers. One of those is in the AWP play of the game. Caden, who do you have?
Yeah, so for the AWP play of the game here, I want to take it over to the defense, because there were some bright spots on this defense. I know that, they allowed a bunch of points. Let's be honest about that. But we saw something great from number 49, Marley, they call him, as he had that sack that resulted into a fumble and got the offense the ball back and got it back inside of the Miners' territory there. So it was a big play right towards the end of the first half for the Flyers, and really it felt like the momentum started to shift at that point. I know they were not able to capitalize on it, and then halftime, of course, hit not too much longer after that, but there was at least a bright spot at that point.
If there was one thing that we certainly saw, though there were 42 points posted, there was a lot of strong defensive fronts for this Dixie team, especially in the backfield. A lot of plays for losses of yardage in favor of Dixie. All right, with that, we're going to go over to our Jersey Mike sub of the game, a sub above the rest. Get it Mike's way. Stop by at St. George's Jersey Mike's today. Caden, who do you have for the Jersey Mike's sub of the game?
I think there's a couple of names that you could look at here that would make a lot of sense, but the one that makes the most sense to us that we've been talking about him a lot is Castle Bereze, who really just came in and put in the work. Someone who we weren't expecting necessarily as a sophomore to come in and throw down some yardage there, but he did. Do want to give a little bit of an honorable mention to Deacon Virgin, who had some time behind center there at QB and made a few big plays and looked confident doing so. He didn't get as much time in, so we won't necessarily give him that award, but we still want to give him a shout-out as someone who came off the sideline and really just gave it their all.
Yeah, one of the big things we were talking about all night was just the young core and what they could develop into should they stick together over the next 2 years or so. All right, next, your Findlay Subaru star of the game. See the all-star lineup of Subaru on the Saving side of the freeway or online at findlaysubaru.com. Caden, who do you have here? There was a lot of standouts.
Yeah, so for the Findlay Subaru star of the game, really you just start looking at that running game a little bit closer, right? I think that Ethan Cunningham is probably a go-to here for Park City, just with how easily he was running the ball. He was getting into the end zone all the time. So you got to go with someone like that.
2 touchdowns for Cunningham in the first quarter alone. Eli Warner also had 2 touchdowns, one in the first quarter, one in the third quarter as well. He had 3 last week, unable to get that hat trick once again. But that is your Findlay Subaru star of the game. Again, the Fan Sports Network will be back next weekend, every Friday night. Plenty of Region 9 coverage coming your way. That'll close things up for us for Week 3 on the Johnson's Pediatric postgame show. Final score, 42-0 as the Miners cruise to a 3rd consecutive victory over the Flyers. For Caden Formaster, I'm Blake O'Rulian. Thank you so much for watching on the Fan Sports Network, and we will see you for Week 4.